to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay, Big E, unfortunately, here as well. Good morning, my friend. How are you today?
Hello, Miguel. I'm fine.
Having a good morning?
Glad to be here.
Yeah. And a better morning than the Tigers. God damn it!
Yeah, 7 in a row, I think.
What is going on with this team?
It's last year redo.
It's unbelievable. We talked to Anthony, and I think they went on a 6-game winning streak, right?
Yeah, we were all kind of
like
dire about it and shit. Like, oh boy, they're going to be able to pull out. And then they immediately pulled out and were awesome. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And
here we go.
Now they're dive bombing it again.
Anthony Fennick from the Free Press was telling us, like, yeah, this, they're going to turn this around. They'll, season's early. I think you started to allude to, what's his name being on the hot seat already? Ausmus, yeah.
Squarely.
Now it is just like fire Ausmus. There were a couple moves last night. They ended up losing to the Nationals.
What dude do?
Well, he made he did it in the 8th. It was a 4-4 game after Sanchez booted a bunt by the fucking pitcher.
Nah, that dirty Sanchez.
And he goes and he tries to pick the ball, one of those real quick, like, I'll just pick it up and tag him out. And he boots it, and it was going to roll foul anyways. And so now you've loaded the bases, and ended up holding him to 1 run and tied up the game. But in the top of the 8th, he pinch hit for and put Victor in, and so they're like, yeah, there's a free base, so they'll just walk him and get to go Anthony Gose or whatever. And so they did, and they did, and I think they ended up, I don't know, but all the announcers are like, yeah, why? This is a tie game. You're going to need this pinch hitter at some point. Like, this is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to pitch to him. So why would you burn him now? Like, none of the announcers could understand it. It just seemed like anything this coach is doing right now.
Well, it's this coach, this manager, Mike.
Right?
In baseball speak.
Yeah.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, in the locker room after the game.
No,
he's probably catching tons of shit.
The clubhouse.
I know,
son of a
asshole.
bitch.
It's bad enough that they're losing, and then when you make decisions like that, because I'm of the opinion, man, most coaches, managers, they're just a small part of what's going on.
Sure.
They get too much credit when they win, too much blame when they lose. But when you're making mistakes like you just described, it makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, and you can't. Those get so amplified when you're going through a rough spell. You're willing to forgive some of that stuff when your team's on fire, but when they're not, then people are looking for any excuse to point fingers at you. I was reading some articles over the weekend. People were like, don't blame the coach for this. This is the players, and they're kind of breaking down who's hitting what, where, when. And,
Castellanos is the only one hitting, right?
Yeah, he's doing well. But anyway, I don't know if you saw any of the NBA playoffs last night.
I heard
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry went off, right, in overtime?
Yeah, 17 points in overtime. Put up a 40 spot last night off the bench.
That's superstar shit right there.
Yeah. 17 in OT to pull ahead. So I think they're up 3-1 over Portland now. They'll probably run away with that series. But, most people think he's going to be a unanimous MVP winner again today. I think that's announced today. So, we'll see. The only thing really in question is whether or not it'll be unanimous. But anyway, that was how my night was spent, watching that stuff.
My night was spent sleeping, dude. I slept my ass off last night.
Did you? That's good.
I've had a problem lately, man. I mean, it just not sleeping well and sleeping in hotels a lot. I know E loves hotels for some reason. I hate that shit.
Dude, I used to love sleeping in hotels too when I was in my 20s. Now it's not so much.
I just don't understand. Like, I get people going out and closing down the bar and coming home at 2:30 or whatever, but I don't understand how these adults just, like, it happens every time I'm on these weekends, these soccer weekends, where there are groups of people who come in at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, whether it's from a bar or a wedding, and they're just fucking assholes.
Really?
Like, as adults.
What do you mean? They're just loud?
Yes.
obnoxious?
Just slamming doors, yelling down the hall. Like, really, man?
Are they
You know,
with your group?
no?
Or no, they're just
other.
happening. Like Big E's running around
I
drunk.
just don't get it. You know, we've all been there. We've all been drunk doing stupid shit, but
Mhm.
man, it's just every weekend. There's that many drunk assholes out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There are.
Probably.
There
Maybe.
are. Yeah, I've never understood that either. The obnoxiously loud
Yeah.
in the hallways or the pounding on walls. You're just like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
crazy.
intentional. I'm going to wake up this whole floor. He's laughing because he's done this.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm
Oh,
sure
my
I'm in
dick.
this category.
It's
One
just
of the myriad of times he's getting rolled by some piece of shit in his hotel room. You kidding me? You
yelling
think,
at
you
the
think
deuce
he's
on her
quiet?
way out.
Hey, come back, lady. Get back with my wallet and phone.
Yeah, I'm not.
She-mail, come here.
I probably can't be too judgmental about these people.
We've
just
seen him when
rude
he's just
shit,
like
man.
sort of buzzed a little bit, and he can't shut the fuck up. Imagine him in a hotel. Oh, hammered.
I know.
Rude
Oh.
ass people, though. So anyway, I was like up all weekend, because of damn hotel sleeping. But damn, last night if I didn't get a good
Yeah,
night's sleep,
for you.
damn it, it was good.
Good for you. Sounds like you needed it.
I did need it.
Have you paid attention to what's going on at all in some of the in Canada?
Our neighbors to the north.
Oh
man.
yeah, in Alberta. Ooh, what is going on? 10% of the city is destroyed by fire.
What city is it?
Alberta,
Dude, it's a fucking province.
Fort McMurray, in Alberta.
Okay.
Well,
What city is it? Alberta? Looking
Well,
at me like I'm a dumbass.
well,
You're like saying Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Michigan.
What city?
It's in
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, it's in Alberta. It's on the west side. They said you can see this plume of smoke from space. Yeah, and it's the containment. You know, I love to brag. Well, it's 20% contained at this point.
Yeah.
Zero.
Oh no.
0% containment. It's just
It's just
waste.
doing its thing.
Yeah.
Hoping it'll burn out at some point, huh?
Yeah. The regional fire chief doesn't remember what some of the structures in some parts of the area even look like.
Oh,
Like he's
no.
like, yeah, I used to, you just count on landmarks, and if you just dust everything, he's like, yeah, I don't know where
Yeah,
anything
whole
is.
neighborhoods and stuff just gone.
Yeah. 90,000 people forced to evacuate. Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
Wow.
We're looking at overhead shots of like a week ago versus now. It's just burning uncontrollably. Fire Chief Darby Allen gave journalists a tour of the town yesterday. He gave about 40 journalists a little tour to show how quickly this fire has taken over. In some parts of town, the destruction is absolute. Street after street, completely leveled. Trees that used to line the streets are singed. Neighborhoods are just unrecognizable. You might be seeing images of the area you live in. Indeed, you may be seeing images of where your home was. I just want everyone to know there are hundreds of people that gave their all. If that helps. I mean, like,
We
people
tried.
worked really hard on this. We did our very best. I'll say that we did our very best. Alan wanted to make clear that while the devastation was being reported, not all was lost. There are some structures that are completely gone and some that are fine. So,
if you're just talking about like a single family home, this isn't awful news. Like, as long as you're up to date on your insurance and you've had the chance to evacuate, like presumably you would have grabbed your major keepsakes.
oh, dude, really?
Like, I think I'd take it, honestly.
Really? Do you know how
Yes.
long of a process it will be to pay out on something like that?
No, you'll be fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
So this is good news?
I would take it. Me personally, at this point, I'd take my house burned to the ground and take that insurance check. I would.
And but what about all
Wouldn't
of,
you?
yeah, oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah. You could burn this thing to the ground for sure. But there's things that you're gonna forget. It's
I know. You're not going to 100% be able to get that shit in the evacuation, but you'll get your major photo albums and jewelry
fucking
or whatever
photo.
you
Who
care
cares
about.
the photo.
I'm thinking as a family person
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I know you'll get your football helmet and your
Yeah.
J flag E, and
I don't want my scrapbook to get caught up in that.
yeah, you'll get your diary E, shit like that. No, if you're given several hours to evacuate, you load up your shit and you
No,
go,
you're right,
and
you
then
get
burn
That bitch down. Burn that bitch down. Burn this bitch
and
down.
then give me a check. I'd
Yeah.
be fine with that at this point.
Oh, I'd be claiming so much.
It's
shit.
like shit. My carpet,
yeah.
I need to replace that shit. You don't have to worry about that. The windows could use.
Should I grab my cats?
You want my vote? God, this house stinks. Let's just put it that way.
Sometimes. Well, like I told you last week, we're not burying anymore. We're
Both
done
of them?
burying. One of them. It only
Can't
takes
one bury for the other?
Apparently,
Do you have two
not.
boxes or one?
Two.
Do they each use one, or can you tell?
I think they're going either
Interchangeable?
or. Yeah.
Well, maybe Pants can step it up for Munster and start burying her shit.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting there steaming, man. It's not
So,
good, Mike. You smell
honestly-
like a cat lady. Again, you're going into this hoarder realm that you despise so much. I'm just warning you. I want you to go into this with eyes wide open.
I buried for her this morning. So
E, do you agree with me?
You're
Hoarder?
definitely a virgin.
hoarder.
You're
Yeah.
not a hoarder.
Stop it.
Yes.
Hoarder,
Get
bro.
out of
E,
here.
you didn't see his car, his new car with unopened. It's the unopened mail.
It's
Mike,
not
that troubles.
It's
It's
not
not
mail.
open mail.
It's junk mail. It's
Then
junk
get
mail.
rid of it.
I will. I just grabbed that from the mailbox the morning you took my car.
Stacks. You've seen it, E.
Ugh.
It's the stacking.
Why do you care?
I'm just saying.
I don't know why you. Yes, you
I'm
do.
just
Yes,
commenting.
you do. You do care.
I want you.
Hoarder. I want hoarders deleted from the planet.
That's my point. I think is you need to realize what's happening here, Mike.
You really think this is hoarder land?
Mm.
That's really unfair. That's really
I
unfair.
don't think it's on.
It's on its
Hoarder.
way.
Thank you, E. It's not hoarder. Stop it.
I really can't say anything either, to be honest with you. If you put Mike in my position and Mike, if I was in Mike's and Mike's was in mine, I'd probably be doing the same stuff Mike would be doing.
Yeah. See, I'm just
You're
like
both
E.
hoarders,
Wait.
son.
I can't really say anything. I
Yeah, that's
guess.
awesome.
I know.
Um,
I know. What you know.
would you make outlandish claims though if your house went down?
What do you mean?
I mean,
like, oh
just
yeah, I had a.
I had multiple diamond rings. You know,
Oh,
like
Mike.
all kinds of
You
shit.
asking me if I'm an honest person?
Would you milk
I'm an
the
honest
system just a
person.
bit?
No.
Just a bit. No,
No.
I probably would. Maybe just a little bit. I'd just boost the numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, that was a. You know, that wasn't a Fender Squire. That was a you know, top of the line. You know, something along those lines. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that wasn't $100 guitar. That
They'll
was a
challenge on
$1,000
big shit. I mean, you can come up with some stuff, but they'll challenge.
As long
you
as you don't go way
Right,
over the
some
top,
say.
I think you could.
Well, I hope you don't have a situation now because now you just set into the auto into a podcast that'll be
Yeah.
out there forever.
called it
that-
all into question.
that you
didn't
would lie. That you would lie. So now anything that you have, they're going to be questioned.
Yeah, I know.
Even the real stuff.
Where do wildfires stand on the spectrum of favorite natural disasters?
It's a good question.
I mean, what do we have on the table? Tsunami, tornado, wildfire, hurricane. To me, hurricane is the least interesting. Earthquake.
Earthquakes. a
Mainly
good one.
hurricanes are bad. I think
Earthquakes have to happen though in places you care about. Like
Right.
they happen all the time in the Himalayas and shit, and you see these little huts just torn apart, and you're like,
Yeah.
I can't identify
who
with
gives
that.
a fuck.
Yeah.
But the wildfire was interesting, man. It's
What about
kind
that
of
one
neat
that
to
was-
see the satellite picture and go, holy shit!
Yeah. How big it
And the
is.
plumes of smoke,
The
as you mentioned.
tsunami is
Oh,
impressive.
that was amazing.
Those tsunamis, when you see people on the beach like, look at that, that's pretty cool. And then it's just like, bye-bye. And nature has no
Yeah.
problem just wiping
nature
your
doesn't.
ass out. Nature doesn't give a shit. Ever.
I personally am partial to the tornado because I'm still amazed, man. Show me a tornado on TV, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, look at that thing.
yeah.
Just amazing.
I
See
still
the
have a
one that's
goal. Oh, sorry.
Been on TV all
Oklahoma
night.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where a couple people are dead.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many people are willing to get close and film. Like they all want to be the.
Oh, yeah.
I want to
the
see a
storm
tornado,
chasers
dude.
and shit.
I want to see a tornado. I don't want to be killed by one, but I would like to see a
Aren't they
tornado.
amazing? Like,
They
what the
are.
Because we don't
hell?
know. We don't really know that one. They just kind of they don't know. Well, they never know when they're going to happen.
They don't
They
know
can tell you-
exactly where. They can tell you the conditions.
No, that I
Gee,
know.
They know
but
quite a bit about
They-
the tornadoes.
no, they don't.
You can't predict obviously its path.
They don't even know when they're going to
exactly.
happen. No, you're not. They do not know when
They
they're going
can
to happen.
predict conditions.
Yeah, but how often they
I
can't even
understand they
agree
can't
that they've ever
pinpoint
happened
right here.
sometimes.
They can't tell us the weather tomorrow.
They
dude.
can't even understand. They can't even tell you that they happen sometimes. They'll be like, we've gotten reports that there's been a tornado in Ann Arbor.
Well, we want a camera on every inch of the earth.
It seems odd that you wouldn't be able to sit there and say 100% with radar and all this stuff that yes, a tornado happened in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Why do you need to know so bad?
It doesn't make them any
Because-
less remarkable. Though.
Yeah.
They
How
are.
about the water
remarkable.
spout? You familiar with the water spout? It's like a
Is that the
tornado
one over
over
the
water?
Over the water.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
God damn it, it's amazing.
I still got to go tsunami. I think because doesn't that start usually with an earthquake?
Yeah, but before
Underwater.
the big one that hit Thailand,
Right. Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah. Before
When
that
it's
big
being
one,
felt
like
in Japan and Hawaii.
before that
like,
big one though, that wasn't even on your radar.
No, it wasn't, but it
Right?
was so goddamn
So you're
impressive.
harkening back to a single tsunami.
Why
which
doesn't
was
that sound
which
right?
was a good one.
Thailand. Why does
I
that?
don't know. I think it was.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember. That sounds
Indonesia?
right to me. But
Indonesia, maybe.
you know,
And
all I,
Thailand.
Maybe, but it doesn't. It seems like this the tsunami of blah blah blah.
Right.
It seems like it had a different name, and
all I can think of, by the way, when I think of that one, I gotta find out where it was. But is that Jay won't probably even know this, but you will. Rebecca Black back in the day, remember Friday, wrote the Friday song?
yeah.
Well, she was on Leno and said that she was going to give all her money that she made from
That's
Friday to the relief fund for the tsunami. And I remember when she said it instantly saying, I want to see these checks. I want to see the report of Rebecca Black's iTunes money going to the relief fund and not to her.
Yeah.
I'd like to still see that.
A bad move if she did. She
It
must
was
have
the
said
dumbest thing I ever heard someone say. Just like, dude, you're never, no one knows who you are. You're famous for a shit song that no one cares about. Take the little money you're getting and keep it, you idiot.
Yeah.
You can't understand charity.
Well, not when you're not going to have any of that. You're never going to have that money again. Not that kind of money. Not that kind of fame.
I will say, hurricane. The fun part about the hurricane is having the stupid weathermen stand out there till the very last moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Trying to report.
Oh,
It's extremely windy. They're
Yeah.
just getting blown over.
seeing signs go blowing
Yeah.
by. That's yeah. Seeing those. Will never understand why we need to do that. Send some dipshit out there into the middle of that stuff. Just in the way guy. You're in the way guy now, reporting on it. But yeah. So what is that your favorite disaster then?
The tornado,
The tornado
Yeah.
is? Yeah.
unequivocally.
You can say that for certain.
Yes.
OJ Simpson. We did you ever end up watching that movie?
No.
No.
I never got to a single episode.
It was good. The FX one. There's apparently one that's coming out that's like made by the people that do the ESPN 30 for 30s.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be unbelievably badass.
8 hours worth, right?
Yeah. New Yorker magazine has an article about it. It's called OJ Made in America, and they're saying it's a masterpiece.
Wow.
Yeah.
New
I don't-
Yorker's pretty snobby too.
Yeah, they are. I can't wait. I don't know what it is, dude, but I just can't get enough of that. Like there are certain stories, and I don't know if it's because of our age or how we grew up or what, but I find the OJ story utterly fascinating and 9/11. Like those two stories,
Yeah.
I can watch countless documentaries and specials on without ever being bored.
Part of OJ is there was just so many characters in it
Mm-hmm.
that were interesting, so many twists and little
Yeah.
details, and the celebrity of it. And I was just reading about Robert Kardashian last week, and just his part in it. And it's funny, like that's where the Kardashians started.
Oh yeah,
that guy
yeah,
in that trial.
yeah. It's great. He was the one that was best friends with the Juice.
Yeah, going back.
Played by Schwimmer, I believe, right? Yeah, David Schwimmer was
Oh,
playing
I've
Kardashian
never watched it. I don't know.
in the TV movie. Yeah, they say this thing is going to blow your mind. The documentary runs 7 hours 43 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Well, there's
gonna
just tons of different angles and social commentary. Apparently,
yeah.
like they handle the race issue, the upcoming reality TV standpoint of it, the celebrity standpoint of it. So they hit it from all these different angles. And then my understanding is there's like a chilling portion where one of the prosecutors, not Marsha Clark or Darden,
Yeah.
but somebody from the prosecution team just walks you through exactly how this happened.
Yeah, the murder.
Yeah.
And it's if you had any doubts about whether or not OJ murdered Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson,
I'm still on that fence.
Yeah, are you?
So if I watch this, that will seal the deal for me.
Apparently, and I haven't seen this yet. I guess it's done really well at Sundance and at Tribeca, but
Yeah, they say they released it as a film to possibly get Oscar consideration.
that's right. It's directed by Ezra Edelman, and it's going to air in primetime on ABC and ESPN starting June 11th. It will be the only thing the country is going to be talking about that whole week, they say.
Is June 11th the anniversary of the low speed follow?
No, I think June 17th was the low speed follow,
Okay.
but June 11th might have been. Was
The
that a couple
arrest?
days later?
Or not the arrest, but the murder?
No, it must because wasn't the low speed follow only a few days later, a couple days later. But June 11th
there.
would have been right there that week. As I said, Ezra Edelman, by devoting nearly 8 hours to the trial, according to this article, and all that surrounded, Edelman is able to give a true and truly operatic 360-degree treatment of a story that basically nobody had ever been able to process except in pieces. There was the way the trial was viewed so differently by black and white audiences, but also the aspects that could be appreciated only by smaller groups, those savvy about race in American sports, those crusading to make domestic violence an appreciated or a national horror story, those who knew the celebrity cult of Los Angeles, those who appreciated the coming of reality TV, those who saw the terrible naivete of a country trying to reckon with centuries of racial injustice by turning the trial of a single man into a national morality play. Simpson's trial was always bigger than him, bigger than sports, bigger than celebrity, bigger than anyone realized at the time. It has taken 21 years for someone to capture what the trial was really about, that's the interesting question to me. Like, it's really hard for me. It's frustrating to go, what am I missing? Like, I've spent 21 years going, what am I missing? It's so clearly obvious to anybody that this guy was absolutely 100% guilty of double murder. Like, that's just obvious.
Yeah.
So what am I missing? Why is it so important that that guy was free and found not guilty? And
simply, pure and simple, a racial payback. That's it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nobody believes that guy didn't do that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I think that's one of the questions they try to answer, though, why that divide. And it does come down to that, where black people just believed that, well, shit, if O.J. Simpson, with all his fame and money, can't get free, then what chance do we have? And it's like, well, yeah, but he was absolutely guilty of that. Like,
doesn't matter, man.
I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. It's like, I'm really struggling to wrap my head around this fight right now in North Carolina. And I know that makes me a monster. I've accepted that. But it's really hard to get my head around, like, okay, what am I missing here in this story? Because it seems like there's another half to this argument that thinks I am an absolute monster for even suggesting that, like, wait a minute, is it just me, or does that seem a little weird that someone's just going to declare one day that no, I'm not a guy, I'm a chick, or vice versa, and I'm just going to use the other bathroom, even if I haven't gone through surgery? You can't even say anything about it. Just deal with it. And there's this humongous push to just, like, accept that, or you're an asshole. And I'm really failing. I wish someone could explain to me, like, what am I missing about that story? Where, I mean, I'm totally being honest, dude. It seems like something where it's like, yeah, okay, that's all fine and good, but you're not, though. You're not a chick. I'm sorry. I don't know.
This is just one battle in the war, though. Just like the OJ thing.
Yeah.
You know, that was just the jury speaking to a larger issue, and the North Carolina battle is just part of the larger war of the liberal bend. I
mean, there was a slight push early on, if you remember, with Rachel Dolezal to, like, yeah, you know, she feels like a black woman. It's like, okay, that's fine and good. We can deal with that mental issue at some other point, but she's not a black woman. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. She's just not. You know what I mean? And, like, you can feel that way all you want. You know, maybe someday you'll get to take that up with your maker and you can go, dude, what the fuck was that all about? Why was I down there feeling like a chick when you gave me all male parts? Like that.
The larger war concerns wiping away of all standards, or what's right and what's wrong, and going toward moral relativism. It's like, hey, who am I to say what's right? That what's right is up to you. What's wrong is up to you. And
yeah.
So that's the journey we're on. And this is just part of that.
It just
the next step in that journey.
A quick road we're on.
We're
flying down a road that nobody really.
And I'm not sure people have considered where it will end up.
Yeah.
And you've touched on it jokingly, but it's true, man. People are going to be marrying horses.
Yeah, I know they hate that. Who the hell
are we to say? Who are we to say that a person shouldn't be able to?
Yeah, I guess that, you know,
if that's right to that guy.
Yeah. Well, the argument would be, well, you've got an innocent horse that maybe doesn't want that.
How do you know?
Well, you don't. But I think you could make the argument that if someone wants to marry a tree or a picnic table or whatever, who are you? But when you're talking about a child molester, and it's like, hey man, if that's what they're attracted to, who are you to say?
Right.
But it's like, well, there's still a child here that doesn't need to be involved in this war. And you could make that argument with a horse as well. But yeah, it's just crazy how quickly it's going down the road.
He has made a very compelling argument that the horse might like it.
Mm.
And so I don't know that we can really,
I remember that
in
argument.
that example, the horse would rather be raped than punched, righty?
To be clear, I am not on the side of marrying horses and marrying trees. And
But we
I'm
know the horse
equally
doesn't want to be punched.
That's all I was saying. I'm equally as with Walters on the you're not a chick. So just to be clear, I don't want him throwing that example and making it seem like I'm just cool with all this stuff. I'm
I don't know.
in the
It just
same boat
seems
as you
like
guys
such
are,
a-
dude.
It seems like such a different thing when you're talking about like gay marriage. I understand why one side is against that. It doesn't seem natural, and in God's eyes, it's wrong. Like I get that whole thing. But if you want to just strip it down and go, hey, it's two consenting adults. What they want to do with their time is of none of your concern. Don't worry about it. It doesn't involve you. They're not asking you to do anything special. Let it go. But with the whole transgender thing and the bathroom war, it seems like, okay, now you're involving a whole lot of other people in your shit. And so I don't understand why that isn't looked at like, slow down a little bit. Okay, maybe I'm just a monster and I just don't get it. I'm an old man, I guess. And it doesn't make sense to me. But
And isn't it funny that like, and I know the bathroom thing is just part of this. It's what everybody globs onto and
well,
argues
it's
about.
the fear of
but
breaking down those walls.
Yeah, of course. But isn't it funny to think like, why is it such a damn big deal to the transgender? You know what I mean? Like I don't drive 100 miles an hour because I know that that's a danger to other people, that other people wouldn't want me to do that. I think I could do it. I think I could safely drive 100 miles an hour, but I
Sure.
don't.
Probably not in the
Because-
subdivision, but
Probably not.
on an
On
open
the
road
highway?
somewhere.
Probably not.
Probably
But
depends on the conditions in the outside too.
I
I'm just
mean,
saying, not to sidetrack.
everybody in society does that, right? We have certain standards that we live by because we know that's how we need to get along.
Right.
Like, why can't they see this in this instance? Like, okay, you know what? I think I'm a chick, but I'll just go to the bathroom in the guy's bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what?
What's
Why
the
is
headache with this?
Right. This is such a big issue. I need to go to the bathroom in the bathroom that I identify with. Like,
And honestly, I honestly don't worry that I don't worry that Caitlyn Jenner's going into the women's bathroom looking to peep chicks. Like, I don't think that's what's going on, but I just know how society is. And people will weasel and use any excuse they can to milk the system. And then you get into a really weird conversation where it's like the first time some assholes just like, no, I happen to identify as a woman that day.
yeah. Is
And
there
you're just like-
no weighing of risk here? Is there no looking at this going, yeah, no, ideally we like these mentally ill people to feel good and be able to go into the bathroom of their choice. But there is this whole other side of this. And so therefore we're kind of weighing this, and sorry, mentally ill people.
Yeah.
Let's focus on getting you the help you need and not worry about putting you in a bathroom that you prefer.
Right.
Is there nothing like that?
And
No
there-
thought process like that?
No,
Hmm.
no, can't do it. That's crazy.
I know I'm a monster.
Yes, you are. That's like one of the most monstrous
Yeah.
things that
Anyone could ever say
ever
at
say.
this point
You,
in society.
yes, you are that guy
Yeah.
right now. Monster. Anyway, back to OJ. It says we see the awkward civil rights hero he was, a man who avoided the political struggle that ran parallel to his rise, famously saying, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." Remember that?
Yes. That was the ultimate irony of the thing. That dude going into that, everybody loved OJ.
Yeah,
This twist that, this
black man
racist.
can't get a fair shake in this
Can't believe
country.
that black man married a white woman like that.
He was the
He
one
deserves
guy
to be prosecuted.
universally loved
Dude.
the world over.
I'm trying to think of an example right now.
You would have to
Dude.
go to an artist of some sort, Michael Jackson in his early years. Like, there are just some people that transcend all of that shit.
Definitely
LeBron,
transcended
No
race.
way.
No, people hate LeBron because of just
Obvious
good.
reason.
Yeah.
I think there's
he's good and
there's-
he's beat the hell out of your team.
well, there's other reasons too, but
um,
I don't know. We'll think of one as we go.
yeah, but
well,
OJ,
dude,
but it
OJ had
really-
dipped into acting and did well, and
it's just
broadcasting.
OJ.
He
Like you
was,
said,
yeah, I'm
I'm
OJ.
black, I'm OJ.
I remember
When
I was only like 10 when that happened ish. You know what I mean? And I remember like like when you say to that, like even as a little just kid, I remember just I knew I'd seen him in movies. I knew he was a football player. And I just remember thinking he can't be guilty. So the point of that is that like no one was sitting here judging him. Like I just remember going like, dude,
nobody prejudged him. Nobody.
He famously said when he was first escorted to jail and seeing all the African Americans that had showed up to support him, he was like, "What all these niggas doing in Brentwood?" Like totally oblivious to what's going on around. Like, what are these guys all doing here? And shit.
What an asshole.
We get the full history in the special too about the racial politics from the Southern blacks who came to Los Angeles expecting acceptance and discovering something far different, to the Watts riots, to the death of a 15-year-old Letitia Harlins. I'm not familiar. I don't remember Letitia Harlins. To former LAPD chief Daryl Gates, LAPD chief Daryl Gates, and his horrific racial attitudes, including his infamous claim that more black men were dying from chokeholds because their arteries do not open up as fast as they do in normal people.
Yeah, boy.
Jesus, that's your police chief?
Normal.
Oh, boy. It all exploded with the Rodney King riots, which was less about King and more about the seeming impossibility that a black man could ever win anything in a court of law in Los Angeles. And that's where the whole OJ thing comes. If he can't do it, then no one can. OJ is full of footage of blacks and whites reacting to the verdict in diametrically opposite ways. And the genesis is that you absolutely understand why both sides are sort of right. So I can't wait. June 11th.
And it's going to go like, what, 5 days? Or
it must be, yeah, doing a couple hours a night.
You said week. You said that everyone will be watching that this week or whatever.
Yeah. How are 30 for 30s usually structured? Like an hour and a half or something?
Some of them are anywhere from an hour to a couple hours.
But they're not multi-days? Or
no.
They've done like the one on Miami. They did part 2.
Yeah.
Where they did another couple hours on the U. But yeah, those are great. And they have different directors and filmmakers make each one of them. So they all have a different feel to them. It's pretty cool though.
Hey, spring is upon us, and our friends at Zot Ford and Holly want to celebrate the season with a smoking hot deal for all TDC listeners. Right now, and only at Zot Ford, you can lease a brand new 16 Ford Escape for only $188 per month for 24 months with zero cash due at signing. There's no better time than the present to dump your busted out, beat down hoopty and upgrade to a sweet new Ford Escape with our friends at Zot Ford. Surf their stunning deals and massive inventory at ZotFord.com.
People love to bitch about the liberal media.
Yeah.
Goddamn liberal media. It's all biased. Well, it sounds like maybe it sort of is with Facebook.
Fuck the book.
I know you're not a fan of the book, but apparently they weren't a fan of you either. Facebook workers routinely, they claim, as according to Michael Nunez in Gizmodo, new article, suppress news stories of interest to conservative readers.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Trend from the trending news section, according to a former journalist who worked on the project. The individual says workers prevented stories about the right-wing CPAC gathering, Mitt Romney, Rand Paul, and other conservative topics from appearing on the highly influential section, even though they were originally trending among the site's users. That's crazy.
That is. That's like
some bullshit, man.
That's like altering the Hooli algorithm. Right? I mean, that's unethical.
Terrible. I can't believe it.
Can't do that.
Awesome.
Several former Facebook news curators also told Gizmodo that they were instructed to artificially inject selected stories into the trending news module, even if they weren't popular enough to warrant inclusion, or in some cases weren't trending at all. Oof. The former curators also said they were directed not to include news about Facebook itself in the trending module.
That's awesome bullshit, man. I look at these trending stories.
It's Hooli, dude. It is Hooli right there.
That is what's happening.
Silicon Valley reference. It's great show on
it's HBO. One of the themes going on right now on the show, the altering of the Google search, essentially.
Yeah.
To not put poor press about Google in there.
Yes.
The Hooli's the equivalent of Google.
That was a great episode last night, by the way. JS.
Was it?
I
haven't seen it
yet, but it was a very good episode.
Last week's horse fucking scene was something.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It's very funny.
Mike Judge is the man, dude.
Yeah, Mike Judge is brilliant. These new allegations emerged after Gizmodo revealed details of the inner workings of Facebook's trending news team, a small group of young journalists primarily educated at Ivy League or private East Coast universities who curate the trending module on the upper right-hand corner of the site. I never
I've
really
never
look at
noticed
those.
I
it.
look
No,
at it
me
all
either.
the time.
You're on
And-
Facebook a lot.
right? And
I just
look
don't
at
spend that much time on Facebook.
And I guess my feeling would probably a subliminal one. Like I'm not here to see news. I don't know. Like
I'm not
I
either,
guess,
but
like,
it's just there. So sometimes I take it as these are kind of 5 or 6 things that
my intuition would be though, like this isn't real news. I don't know why. Like this isn't really what I would care about. Yeah, maybe it's trending, but whatever.
You know what though? I
really
found a lot of things on
care.
here, even right now. Like, look at Louis C.K. announced his summer tours. I found a lot of bands and a lot of like stuff like that on here. So I guess then I think once I started finding a few things that I actually cared about, then I just took it.
I'm just in the habit. If I want news, I'll jump on like CNN.
Well, I'm not-
just
Yeah.
or ABC or USA Today or something.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not looking for it to be my news source, but I'm just saying
You'll
I have.
notice it. Huh?
I've checked it out and I found things that I found interesting, so I've started looking more.
That's why you have that liberal bent you do because you're
Yeah, that must. Yeah, I'm really very liberal.
Curators have access to a ranked list of trending topics surfaced by Facebook's algorithm, which prioritizes the stories that should be shown to Facebook users in the trending section. What?
There's no way we would know. Like, I somewhat know the lingo based on watching a TV show, essentially. Like, I would not have known algorithm.
Really?
No, I wouldn't have.
The curators write headlines and summaries of each topic and include links to news sites. The section constitutes some of the most powerful real estate on the internet and helps dictate what news Facebook users are reading at any given moment. I believe it's had a chilling effect on conservative news, one of these guys said. Depending on who was on shift, things would be blacklisted or trending, or blacklisted or trending.
it's just subjective.
Mhm.
Whoever's sitting there is
The former curator is politically conservative, one of a very small handful of curators with such views on the trending team. I'd come on shift and I discovered that CPAC or Mitt Romney or Glenn Beck wouldn't be trending because either the curator didn't recognize the news topic or it was like they had a bias against Ted Cruz. Which I don't blame him for the bias against Ted Cruz personally. I can see that. It's very, very hard to do a positive piece on
right.
Ted Cruz. The former curator was so troubled by the omissions that he kept a running log of them at the time. Another former curator agreed that the operation had an aversion to right-wing news stories. It was absolutely biased. We were doing it subjectively. It just depends on who the curator is and what time of day it is. State or conservative news source would have a story, but we would have to go and find the same story from a more neutral outlet that wasn't as biased. So, in other words, if a story was trending on Breitbart or the Washington Examiner or Newsmax, it wouldn't be enough. And if it was being picked up by the algorithm on Facebook, they would go, yeah, let's go find that same story from the New York Times or the BBC or CNN. The conservative curator described the omissions as a function of his colleagues' judgments. There is no evidence that Facebook management mandated or even was aware of the political bias. Managers did, however, explicitly instruct curators to artificially manipulate the trending module in a different way when users weren't reading stories that management viewed as important. Several workers said curators were told to put them in the trending news feed anyways. And that gets interesting because they started to really inject like the Black Lives Matter story. Like that was a big one where it was like, this is so important for the nation. We need to inject this. And all of a sudden that became this big trending bullshit on Facebook. And it was falsely done in a lot of respects. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, the amount of information that's being collected on you through social media and then the mind bend that's going on.
Yeah.
Frightening, sir.
It sure is. They're trying to compete with Twitter is the problem. They're trying to be relevant. You know, it was basically just a landing spot for people to go, oh, look at my cat and share memes. And Twitter is blowing it out of the fucking water as far as like what's going on in the world.
Look at this orange up this chick's ass.
Right.
Which is fun in its own way. But if you're trying to keep up with the Twitter of the world, like I can go every morning, open my Twitter and just hit the search button and it will tell me the 20 biggest trending things in the world and how many stories are being done and how many conversations are happening about it.
It's a big search engine.
It's a huge search engine. And so it is helpful. It's like, okay, well, maybe I better read more about this because apparently the globe is talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, the world, you know. So yeah, Facebook got a lot of pressure about not having trending topics for Black Lives Matter. That's crazy. They realized it was a problem and they boosted it in ordering. They gave it preference over other topics. When we injected it, everyone started saying, yeah, now I'm seeing it as number one. This injection is especially
Oh,
noteworthy because
wow.
the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement originated on Facebook, and the ensuing media coverage of the movement often noted its powerful social media presence.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, remember, wasn't he bitching about people for like they've got a wall so people can just go blow off some steam in Facebook and they can spray paint on the wall?
Oh, really? In their
Yeah.
office?
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
And so people were like writing disparaging shit about Black Lives Matter, and he was getting all pissed off at them. He was,
You can write anything except that.
except that this is such an important social movement right now, folks. Don't disparage the Black Lives Matter hashtag. Oh, joke. Anyway, I was reading about a couple people in your profession, Jay, that are
What, podcasters?
no.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Equally as bad though. This judge. Oh, His Honor.
Oh, no.
Oh, Your
oh,
Honor.
no. Oh, no.
Oh, Your Honor. I gotta say though, if I was a His Honor, this is the kind of shit I would do. Not this exact example.
Sexual. It's got to be sexual.
Dude, I'm just saying, man, we're all human. And if that's why I would have been a lousy cop. I've often said, I joke about Officer Walters. And the reason Officer Walters would be a lousy ass cop is because I would absolutely be on the take. I could be bought and paid for by almost anybody.
You do not want to give you any bit of power.
No, I would abuse it so fast. I mean, pull over a hot chick. There's no way I'm writing her a ticket. There's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not issuing a hot chick a ticket. And if some guy's like, well, I know I was doing 150 in that school zone over there, but here's my license and registration. And there's a couple hundies in that when he hands it to me. It's like,
Oh, we've all made
Now we're
mistakes.
talking
we're
the
on the
same
same
language, right?
page here, sir. You and I, you have a good day, my friend.
We've all made
slow it
mistakes,
down.
right.
I'll teach him a lesson. I'll tell him to slow it down for sure. But those hundies will go a long, long way. I don't need that being circulated through the court system. Fucking his day up. Now I got to go to court and deal
So
with
much
this shit.
backlog anyway.
Oh, dude, you tell me we can handle this on the streets right now?
Streamline
Done.
the process.
Done and done as
He knows he was
were,
wrong.
sir.
You know he was wrong. He learns his lesson.
That's right.
A ticket isn't going to change anything.
No.
It's not going to better anybody.
No, it's going to fuck his day up. It's going to screw his license up and give him more points. Now he's paying more in insurance. Nobody needs that.
You said the paperwork you'll have to fill out, and then you'll have to go to the
Forget
judge.
Forget it. So I kind of understand where this judge is. This Arkansas judge. He was. Now here's where we would differ. He was he allegedly coerced male defendants into having sex with him in exchange
Oh, you would
for
totally do that. Yeah.
sentence
you're right.
reductions. You
It's
know,
right up your alley.
well, the sex part, not with the males. That's the only difference we would have.
That's all right.
He's resigned after thousands. I said thousands
Oh
of
my
photos showing naked young men in his home, some being paddled.
Oh,
It's always the same and always different. There's always a bunch of naked guys having a wonderful time together.
thousands.
His Honor was paddling young men in his
Oh,
home.
judge.
Oh,
Was he wearing the
man.
robe? While he was doing
Probably.
it?
Judge Joe Beckman resigned Monday, adding that he has promised never to return to the public office. In doing so, the investigation was closed. That's great news.
You know, there are people who don't want to do other things. You know, if you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
The move came after David Sasher, executive director of the commission investigating the judge, told the judge and his attorney that investigators had found around roughly 4,550 photos on his PCs, plural.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say,
The
Wait,
photo,
those were on his PCs?
yeah.
that's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
the photos show naked young men inside and outside the judge's home, some being paddled. The
Paddle.
judge has been told, don't destroy the paddle, sir. We may need that down the road.
Oh my god!
How did this not get out before thousands
I don't
were
know.
treated in this manner?
It's alleged that the judge had offered to pay defendants attorney's fees in exchange for sex.
That's really astounding.
Around 1,050 images from his computer had been
Oh my
provided to investigators in the first instance. A further 3,400 were expected to follow. They believe
Think
his.
about the volume, man.
It
I
must
know.
just be those
30
people, though. Not right? They don't want to. No one's gonna believe them. They got off anyway. They don't want to go and pay back maybe the original whatever they're there for.
Let that soak in. How many thousands of
over
images.
30
I mean,
years.
you get emails where like somebody will send you like 5 images, and you're like, you're bored by the 5th one, right?
yeah.
Thousands.
45, 50
Hmm.
that they know of. Could be many more. They say his act stretched back 30 years when he was
30
a
years.
deputy prosecuting attorney. Oh, several teens were quoted in the document saying their charges were dismissed after Brokeman had taken photos of them.
Would you do it? Just simple
Fuck
photo.
If
Yes,
it was
he
just
would,
photos,
dude. Yeah.
what am I? It'd have
Look,
been,
you're looking at, I don't know, a DUI
okay,
and all the shit that goes with a DUI.
right. If it's just
All
photos,
he needs is you bent over with an open butthole.
yeah,
And he gets to paddle you a little bit.
but no
and
sex,
your face is in the photo. You're peeking through your legs.
but no
upside down.
sex.
Right.
No, he's not going to insert anything in you.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's gonna,
yeah, hell yeah, dude.
yeah, you're
Open butthole.
For a DUI,
spread of me. You'd pull it apart.
All right.
Why not?
You've got your ankles. You're holding onto your ankles. He's opening your butthole
would
with
you
his
for a
thumb
DUI,
and forefinger.
$10,000?
Thumb and forefinger. He's opening the butthole. He's got his camera like this. Your head's between your legs, looking up with that grilly grin.
A smile,
What would you
baby.
do?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Pay the $10,000?
Yeah.
The fines?
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
paying
not
that.
10,000.
He's
but
not
I would-
paying that. You heard
No,
him.
I would not let him take a picture of my butthole.
If I have a DUI, I would.
So one victim claimed he had been made to strip and wear handcuffs in the courtroom while Beckman took photos of him at the end of the shoot. So he takes him.
So
in
this
the
son
back.
of a bitch usually, when he's running his courtroom, is fantasizing about these guys in handcuffs.
Hell yes,
God,
he
if I
is.
could just get that orange jumpsuit off that one.
Mm. He says, as soon as at the end of the photo shoot, he takes that last snap of the picture and he goes, "Case dismissed."
No, he has a catchphrase?
Yes, case dismissed. In his letter to Beckman and his lawyer, that Satcher gave the judge the opportunity to resign, which he duly took. In his resignation letter, the judge also promised never to work for the state of Arkansas again.
Good for him.
Do we have a quote?
Yeah,
Do
we
have a
do.
quote
Have,
from
we have
the
a
judge?
small quote from the judge.
I further promise to never seek employment as local county, state employee, or public servant in the state of Arkansas. I understand the commission will use all legal power it finds necessary to enforce this agreement. The crowd is spoken! Order!
Oh, that poor son of a bitch. This poor guy. The original civil investigation, by the way, began in November of last year.
It's
So-
weird that he had such an English accent in Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah, it is.
But this is a rare judge.
Mhm. Last year in November, but they said Beckman showed preferential treatment to white men and allowed sentencing not recorded on court dockets, including picking up trash at his home. So E gets a DUI and he's like, "How about you pick up some trash at my
Well,
home?"
Trash at your home. Like, how much trash does a judge have? Is
Probably
he
just-
spreading trash?
Well, I was
It's
gonna
like
say
an
he pro-
Easter egg hunt.
Well, not just that,
Maybe.
but he probably just likes sitting in his
Yeah.
maybe sits on the porch drinking, sipping his
Bend,
drink. just-
bend over and pick up my trash.
yeah, just,
I bet he goes and spreads trash.
probably.
Nobody
Yeah.
has enough trash around their
I
home.
don't think we have
Well-
any trash in our yard right now.
Right.
Like in reality, like
Well, maybe that's the play because they say he would then make them take pictures and then it would get into the sexual thing too,
So that was part of the
including paying for
grooming.
sex. Yeah.
Just come over and pick up trash.
So he's
just
got
like on the
Big E-
side of the road.
so yeah, he's just kind of
and then
saying.
it grooms into the. Well, come on in for some lemonade.
Yeah. Well, he would tell E. He would tell, like, for lack of a better defendant name, Big E, come over. You got this DUI. You come over and pick up trash in the yard. And Big E's like, "No problem, Your Honor. I'll be right there." And so he comes over, and Big E notices there's no trash here. And so he's like, "Oh man, that's crazy. I thought could have sworn there was a mountain of trash in my yard for you to pick up. Well, I guess we could take some nude photos." And Big E's like, "Hell yes, let's get it on." And
there are people who don't want to do other things. If you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
And then they're inside the house, and then he's inside E. You can see how that just
It's always the same and always different. There's always a bunch of naked guys having a wonderful time together.
he would also pay their attorney's fees too. So if you've hired an attorney, God, those attorneys would have to know, right? Some piece of shit with not a dollar to his name is.
Yeah, how does this not get around, man? Before it did, obviously it got out.
I mean, unless these lawyers are like, dude, nobody pays their bills on time, and all of a
Nobody.
sudden I'm getting these bills
Yeah.
paid. I'm not asking
I
questions.
got a
Whatever.
check from the judge.
Yeah, it says signed judge. No,
He
no.
had to have laundered that, right? He couldn't have just written a check.
You would think.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, over 30 years, that's what I'm wondering too. Like, how on earth
Yeah.
does this not?
Did he dock with any of them?
Docking is the insertion of one man's glands into the foreskin of another's.
Did he do that?
Probably. I wasn't familiar with what docking was.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing would surprise me. I want to see these photos, kind of. I just want to see some guy bent over in his panties being paddled. Oh, these poor
By his
guys.
honor.
Would you let a judge paddle you, though, if you were like 20, Jay, and
Nothing like clothes on over the clothes?
well, he's got you to the house, and you're in your boxers or something, and he's like, Jay,
No pictures.
he's gonna take a picture, but he's keeping your face out of it.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, I mean, to wipe out a DUI.
Yeah. Like, all right, dude, whatever. Put that in your spank bank if that gets you off.
I can't believe there's not like more charges.
You'll be getting off the charges, Jay, and then he'll be getting off later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's right.
Put.
Nothing wrong with that. And then there's this chick. I mean, your profession is under assault this morning, Jay.
I'm telling you, there's some
really
bottom
is.
feeders.
And this chick, I love this chick. She's okay, right? It's not bad.
Let me see.
This eyebrow here. Look at that eyebrow. What's that doing? I don't like that. It's like wrapping around her eye.
Oh my goodness.
You see that?
It's dastardly. She looks, like a villain.
Yeah.
She looks remarkably different in the two images.
Does she?
Oh yeah.
I see.
She looks like she's spiraling downward.
Yeah, she's
she look-
okay.
She's she look way better
She's
on the right. I mean,
52.
way better.
Well, no, she got the makeup and shit on, right? That's the deal.
Yeah. I mean, she's not bad. She's
she's not awful.
She's 42.
She's not
I guess.
awful.
She's a lawyer in Florida. She's been disbarred after admitting to inappropriate sexual relationships with men behind
These
bars.
things happen.
Linda Haddad, a former public defender, became a criminal defense attorney. At one point, even spoke with an inmate who she was both representing and banging about injecting meth. So this is someone that obviously got a little deep into the drug world, and then here we find ourselves.
God damn it.
The inmate, Stephen Sullivan, said the drug he would make the two have better sex. So the Florida bar said in the statement, Haddad engaged in a pattern of misconduct that included illegal drug use and sexual relationships with clients, inappropriate intimate relationships with inmates at the Volusia County Jail while she represented them, which were routinely recorded by the jail. Wouldn't a lawyer know that? Everybody knows that.
She's fucked up, man.
Everybody knows that the jail calls are recorded, right? And certainly a fucking prosecutor would know that, or a public defender would know that.
She's pretty far down the line.
Dude, you can get you know how far down the line you'd have to be and how out of it you'd have to be to not know. Like, you would think as a public defender, the first thing you would tell your clientele in jail is, hey, whatever you do, if you're going to make a phone call here, you're going to make your phone call inside this jail, just know that it's recorded. I mean, every call, like, you would think that'd be rule number one. Don't talk to the law enforcement. And if you make a jailhouse phone call, just know it's recorded. That seems like a no-brainer. In a lengthy deposition, Haddad admitted to using crack, coke, meth, acid, weed, Xanax, Adderall, oxys, among other things. That's
just a member of the bar.
That is a hell of a list right there, folks. That is some fun stuff right there. That entire list. Crack. I know. What is it about crack? Is it just what the media did to crack?
It definitely has a perception, doesn't it?
Dude, I told
crack is whack.
All of those I can go, yeah, done that, been there. But when you get into meth and crack, I just go, ugh.
Yeah. Ugh.
I told this to Jay.
Yeah, like meth just rings to me like, ugh, teeth are falling out. Gross.
Yeah, dirty.
You know, just, like freaking just mobile homes and
mobile meth labs and some Skeletor looking dude that's like blown out, his eyes are all bugged out. What were you saying, E?
I was saying, I told Jay, I guess I didn't reveal this. He didn't think that I had when I was talking some of those times from San Francisco. But that morning when I was walking to the Jack's doing my little video, like, from the hotel to the Jack's building just to see it in the morning, I saw for the first time in real life someone just smoking crack, and it was just like a bum just doing it on the street.
Hell yeah!
Just the pipe. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. I get it. Maybe other people have seen that in real life. I had never seen a person, and especially just like 8 in the morning on the side of the main street.
There is something like super hardcore about that, Like, ugh, crack.
Dude's smoking crack, and I'm just walking by him.
If you walk around the cities of San Francisco, you will see some amazing things in the street. I mean, I've seen people having screaming matches with a wall.
Yeah.
just like screaming at a wall, and you're like, okay. Joe Rogan posted something like a week ago. He was walking down Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, and there's a homeless guy just sitting on the corner with his pants like halfway between, like down to his thighs, and his dick is out, and he's just jacking it. He's sitting on his ass, and then Rogan's just like walking his dog down the street, and he's kind of just filming this guy, just like sitting on this. You're just like, dude, the fuck is going on
He
out
doesn't
here?
fucking know, probably, I guess. I'm gonna like to give that.
You're giving him
dude,
the benefit.
I'm giving the homeless dude the benefit of the doubt that he's so gone that he doesn't understand maybe that he's masturbating in a.
Yeah,
Maybe he does though.
Just get a free pass, right?
I
You're like
know, maybe.
toddlers, old people, and homeless people. Just complete free passes.
I don't know. To me, maybe that's the go-to move when it's like, all right, I am starving. I've got to get something to eat. And if I just start publicly jacking off,
Right.
eventually I'll get arrested. They'll throw me in jail and I'll get 3 squares and a bed. I could use a nap and a meal.
Probably. I don't know. I've often thought about
So this chick,
homeless life.
If I
for
was-
some reason.
if I was counsel, by the way, this, by the way, is the attorney that I would be too.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
for the record, like she admitted to on one occasion she rented a car for a drug dealer who repaid her with drugs. I could be repaid with cash and drug. I could see that, especially in my younger days. I could definitely see doing that. She was also forced to listen to phone sex recordings during her deposition that she made with this guy and another inmate, 25-year-old Brandon Carson, while they were behind bars. She's having phone sex with these asswipes from jail. Holy shit. Haddad also lamented the fact that he was behind bars telling him in one conversation, "You're in jail and I can't touch your penis wrinkle."
Wait, what? Penis wrinkle?
Penis wrinkle. Yeah,
That's the quote?
that's the quote from her.
The hell's a penis wrinkle, E?
Don't know.
She was bitching at him for being behind bars, telling him in one conversation, "You're in jail and I can't touch your penis wrinkle." Not familiar with penis wrinkle.
No. Throw that in the Urban Dictionary, E. Does that mean something?
Yeah, good question. I'm mad. We still have to get my sex toy too. We were supposed to go to the sex shop. Her conversations with Sullivan, however, were far more graphic and sexual in nature. When the two spoke about shooting meth, Haddad voiced her concern, at which point Sullivan tells her, "Bitch, you do what the fuck I tell you to do. Go buy a diabetic needle. I'm gonna shoot you up one goddamn time. You act like it's such a goddamn crime because I want you to be in euphoria for fucking 30 minutes. Excuse me." I love it. Haddad responds, "All right, if you want me to, I'll try it. All right." Haddad has been arrested 5 times before, once for DUI and 4 other times
Nice.
after that for motor vehicle registration issues. This sounds like the worst lawyer ever. She also admitted to being
It's like the lawyer on Silicon Valley.
yeah. Sounds
Are you a
even worse
lawyer
than-
here to see an inmate? No, I'm
I'm an inmate here to see my lawyer.
yeah, I'm here to see a lawyer. Yeah.
She also admitted being yelled at by a cop who threatened to arrest her after she flashed a bouncer to get into a club without paying a cover. Love this girl.
That happens.
Yeah. She also failed to show up on time for client meetings and hearings, moved her office without notifying clients, and neglected some of her criminal cases.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's so how I would be. I just would. I could see picking up and moving my office one day and like,
Sounds like she probably got to the point where her law business didn't really matter. She was in a little too deep.
you think?
Maybe.
It sounds
Maybe.
like, by the way, that penis wrinkle is not a good thing, according to Urban Dictionary. Anyway,
What do they say?
a way to insult someone to the lowest degree. And then it says
Whoa.
penis wrinkle, the wrinkly part of a penis where nobody likes to touch. Also an insult.
And she claimed she wanted to touch the penis wrinkle.
So maybe she does not up on the Urban Dictionary, I suppose. Maybe she thought it was a sexy thing.
You're in jail and I can't touch your penis wrinkle.
The equivalent to a douchebag, McAsshole, or a son of a bitch.
McAsshole.
According to Urban Dictionary,
Yeah.
though. This is not,
It's good to know the penis wrinkle has a meaning. That
Yeah.
flummoxed me.
Can she pull this together, Jay? Can she get this back? If she goes and cleans herself up and says, "Yeah, I won't deal with penis wrinkle anymore," and all that, can she clean up and will they let her back on the team?
Yeah, I don't know what the procedure is for that, but I got to believe there's going to be some hurdles there.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah. Poor thing.
and she'd really have to clean up.
More concerned about that eyebrow. I don't know what that's doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, why don't we take a quick break? Wanted to give you guys a test to see how sexist you are. I'll be honest with you. I didn't fare very well.
Yeah, you're gonna win.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do that more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. We're closer than you think, and we have deals that do not stink. Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 is the only place you can lease the all-new 2016 Ford F-150 Super Crew four-wheel drive for $188 a month. That's correct. Zott Ford has F-150 Super Crews for just $188 per month. Check out our obnoxious deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com. That's SZOTT.
Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
What do?
I'll tell you what dude did. What this dude did. What do? I took a test to see if I'm sexist.
I took it too.
Yeah, I made you guys take it too. So we've all taken it, and it's a study published in the Journal Archives of Sexual Behavior and understandingprejudice.org if you would like to take the test yourself. And it's what's that?
Are there tests on here like, are we racist or not too, or no? Or is it that's the only test?
I don't need a test.
Okay.
You know, pretty well established. Anyway, the ambivalent sexism inventory scale was designed to understand levels of sexism among individuals. The more you agree, the more sexist you may be.
Mm.
And so it's kind of a sliding scale, 1 to 5.
0 to 5.
0 to 5, yeah. I'll run down the...
And we didn't know that going into it.
I
the
didn't
more
know,
you
yeah, I didn't
agreed.
realize that.
I just answered honestly.
Right.
So did I. I did too. And I think I did okay.
But what it does is it gives you 2 scores, hostile sexism score and a benevolent sexism score.
Okay.
So there's 2 different things. You got hostile sexism, which means it involves negative feelings toward women. So that's what most people think of. Oh, you're sexist. You hate women. Benevolent sexism, however, is a knight in shining armor ideology that offers protection and affection to women who conform to the traditional gender roles, e.g. cute girlfriend, obedient wife, etc. That's more what I think of when I think of myself.
Yeah. You're benevolent.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing, though?
Apparently it is.
It is. So you're supposed to just be like, fuck them, let them fend for themselves?
Yeah, I guess.
Nowadays?
I guess.
Okay. So you're a monster,
Great,
too.
dude, that's awesome. Good news.
What was your score? What was your score on hostile sexism? Let's start with that. With just like hatred toward women.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Is that what these are out of?
3.45.
Uh-oh, I'm not doing good.
What'd you get?
3.82.
Well, he hates women the most.
I thought Mike told me I wasn't that bad.
I didn't think you were that bad, but you're a monster, E.
I'm under 3. I'm 2.91.
Well,
But
did you cheat?
I did, dude. I tried to be as honest as I could, but I think I probably scored higher than you guys on the other one.
Oh, so the knight in shining armor, Jay.
But this is a bad thing, apparently. Because it's women who conform to traditional roles, like cute girlfriend, obedient wife. It's not like
so having a cute girlfriend, an obedient wife. What does that mean? That she cooks dinner?
I guess
that she has sex on demand. Like what is that?
Get in the closet now.
Closet now, panties off.
Cooks and cleans, right? Keeps the kids.
No, neither of these are good things.
My benevolent sexism score was 2.09. Not
Good for
bad,
you.
right? What was yours?
3.73.
Ooh.
2.18.
Yeah. See?
So I'm the least sexist of all. That's bullshit, man. I don't know about you guys, and I don't give a fuck what the feminist world thinks. I am holding a door for a woman. I'm opening the car door for Beth when we go out. It's just the way it is. I'm paying for the fucking bill when we go out.
Right.
I don't know, a couple times a year, she's like, no, I'm taking us to lunch today. It's like, okay, go ahead. Knock yourself out. But other than that, dude, it's just the way it is. If I go to a bar with a girl, I'm paying for the drinks.
Yeah, apparently that's bad.
Okay, well, then I'm an asshole.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sexist pig asshole. Some of the questions we've got on the list. No matter how accomplished he is, a man is not truly complete as a person unless he has the love of a woman. What do you think?
You know, dude, I didn't print my exact answers.
No, I know, but that's okay. I don't have my
dude. I was
printed
kind of
either,
right
but-
down the middle. There was only a couple that I strongly agreed with or disagreed with. I was
Right.
like 2 or 3 every time.
Yeah. Thanks for leaving the door open for the caddy.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
appreciate that.
right,
no matter
Cat.
how accomplished he is, a man is not truly complete as a person unless he has the love of a woman. I don't know. I think I was probably middle of the road on
Yeah,
that too.
me too.
Many women are actually seeking special favors, such as hiring policies that favor them over men under the guise of asking for equality. Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
I agreed with that one.
Totally.
I was middle of the road.
In a disaster, women ought not necessarily to be rescued before men.
I struggled. I didn't answer that one until I let that one go, did the other ones, and then answered it to the end because I really.
You came back to that one?
I came back to that one.
That was the one, huh?
Well, there's a real equality push here. And so I think that my life should be as valuable as any
What
little
is the
girl or
difference?
woman.
See, that's
so-
why you resulted with a lower sexism score. If that makes me a monster, that I agree that, or that I think that women ought to still be rescued before men,
Yeah.
then I guess I'm a monster.
Why?
Actually, I would have agreed that women should be rescued first too.
Why?
Um,
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
It's tradition, man.
most
Okay,
women,
today. See that it doesn't make any like. I get it if you're a mother, but if we're in a situation like a singles cruise, what is the difference?
Because the kids need their mom more than they need you.
yeah,
That's
but
where
we're
that
in a-
comes from, right?
it does.
I think so.
I don't know that that's where it comes from. I think it's
Just
just
like be
the-
a man, be a man and take it.
Yeah, you take the lumps.
If I'm on the Titanic,
Spare her
every
the
man for
pain and the
himself.
right.
he wouldn't just take the seat on the Titanic. He would throw kids and women off the Titanic, like chuck them overboard to make sure there was room left on the boat for him.
Into the propeller.
I
that was
would-
the best scene of that movie.
Oh,
I
best
would.
scene for sure.
I disagree. I know you can think what you want. I would not push women out of my way.
I think you would, though.
But I
In a
would.
panic, I could absolutely see you shoving children.
I don't think.
I don't think you target boys versus girls. I think it's just like every man for himself. And you
Okay,
just
maybe I would push people, but I wouldn't be looking at them as females or men. It would just be like, I want to make it out on this
Yeah.
this boat.
Near,
far,
wherever you are.
I remember being so excited for that movie. I was such a Titanic nerd out there. I think I have pictures of my Titanic presentation I did one year,
Ugh.
first grade.
Bring them in tomorrow, please.
I think I do. I'll try to look for them.
Most women interpret innocent remarks or acts as being sexist.
Oh, I strongly agree.
Did you
it
strongly
was
agree with that
statements like most that get me hung up.
one? Yeah,
That's
me
where I
too.
don't go 5. I go middle of the road.
Yeah,
That is a problem.
yeah. I think
Most
there's
statements.
just as many women who appreciate a guy holding the door for them as ones that go, "Ah, I can hold my own door."
Right.
Well, dude, that's just now these days, like when you get job applications, even just for McDonald's, they all make you do like personality tests now. And that when you say those most things, they'll have questions like that, like 1 to 5, strongly disagree, strongly agree. Everyone in jail deserves to be there. Like, well, I don't. We all know there are people in jail that don't deserve to be there.
Especially
like,
Mike. Mike really believes it.
right. That's true.
Don't give anybody a maggot in jail. Mike will get upset.
Well, I'm just saying they're already in jail. They're being punished. You don't need to feed them fucking worms. It's bullshit. Women are too easily offended. Yes.
That's
Does
Agree
it say like
strongly with that.
that's how it's worded?
women are too easily
Yeah,
offended.
middle of the road.
Pussy.
No, dude. A lot.
Not having a stance on it.
No.
Some women aren't. Especially the
no,
ones that
I look
listen
at
to
that
this
and go
show.
and I go. Some of them are very rightly offended.
Yeah. People are often truly happy in life without being romantically involved with a member of the other sex.
I
it's kind of.
I was more disagreeing on that. I went more toward 2 on that.
So you were thinking that you don't necessarily have to be married to be happy.
No, he's thinking
No,
you think
you
you do.
You do?
I think I did like three or
Wait, it's not married. It's just have someone in your life.
a relationship.
Romantic-
Read it,
involved-
dude.
People are often truly happy in life without being romantically involved with a member of the other sex.
Yeah, I said I disagree. I was on the disagree side of that.
Okay. Feminists are not seeking for women to have more power than men.
Oh, I
I
disagree.
disagree strongly with that. That's bullshit. That's exactly what they're doing. Many women have a quality of purity that few men possess.
I
Yes.
was more on the agreement of that.
Yes, I
I
agree
know
with it.
men and yeah.
Men
and
are pigs.
and granted, women can be pigs as well,
Sure.
for sure. But come on, man, when
Hey,
you're
it
talking
said
about the
many
whole body
women.
of work, yeah,
Women should be cherished and protected by men.
I
Yeah.
was definitely on the agreeing side of that.
I the thought is strong with me. Like I think that I don't think I'm the one to protect and cherish, but I think I should.
In an ideal world,
Yes. I don't see myself as a real protector, like I've got this, honey, and step outside and like take on whatever the threat is
Right.
kind of guy.
yeah.
Um
But it'd be nice if you were.
yeah, like if if I had a choice, could I be the hero? I would be,
hmm
because I think that's the way you should
Just
be.
can't be.
But yeah, unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond most people's control, I am just not that.
Right. I agree.
So that's a problem. Most women fail to appreciate fully all that men do for them. Yes.
Well, no shit.
Yes, I believe that's.
oh, I went strongly disagree on that one.
You strongly disagree that most women fail to appreciate
Oh.
fully all that men do for
Oh
them?
no, strongly agree. Sorry,
I was on the disagreeing side of
I was totally agree. I think I don't think I think you get a few here and there. You know, again, Jay is always. You're such a thing.
Dude, I came out the most sexist of anybody. Shut up.
On the benevolent one. That's bullshit.
That is not a good thing. That's not a good thing. I'm not a hero.
Bullshit.
I am more sexist than anybody.
Which
I disagree with. I love women. I love hot women.
You're full of shit. You are full of shit, sir. You're standing up there going, well, I'm just too overprotective and I'm just too perfect for women. And so I'm a sexist monster. It's a badge I'm
It's a bad thing in their mind, but
it's like being stuck with a big dick guy and trying to go, well,
I'm sorry.
If I have to shoulder the weight of being the guy in the studio here with a giant
Am I
dick,
the most sexist person according to the study?
No.
According to the study that we have just undergone.
Okay, fine. But that question
established by psychologists and psychiatrists.
I think it is bullshit that most women appreciate all the shit that I think they just get, especially the hot ones that get things to them all the time. Guys are just fawning over them. That ends up just getting shoved in. Bill Burr has a great joke about
points
that.
He's making.
Bill Burr has a great joke about that. About the hot woman down in the front row. You know, the umpire's about to give a ball. Is it a little kid? No, it goes to this hot chick. And Bill Burr sitting up his seat's way up high. He's like, that just goes into a pile of unappreciated shit that she just thinks everybody gets. Like, oh, we all just sit front row. We all just get foul balls at the game handed to us.
It's funny, too. There's a little sliver in that umpire's mind. Like, maybe I could get this later.
There is.
Why else would you do that?
You'd give it to a little kid if it weren't for that.
I mean, I think
how absurd is that? You're an umpire.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to meet this chick after the game.
But it is true.
Give me that ball.
I've found myself doing that. Like, there's a 25-year-old girl at the pizza place, and it's like I tip her more than some people, and it's like, why? I have a great girl at home. This is not going to happen. I don't even want it to happen.
You look at,
but it's just, you can't help it.
You look at studies that show that better-looking people get jobs, right? There's just a reason for
we
it.
do.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
You definitely do, Mike.
Yeah. Every man ought to have a woman whom he adores.
Yeah, I was on the agreeing side of that.
I guess.
Men are complete without a woman.
I was on the disagreeing side of that. I'm not like zero, like completely disagree, but I'm right in the middle and I'm swaying from one to the other.
I think you can be complete without a woman or a man. Like,
I agree.
Well, I guess complete is probably the wrong word, but I think you can be perfectly satisfied.
Are you saying that Tom Cruise was wrong when he said the famous words? You
complete me.
Well,
maybe for him that did. But I've definitely there's a lot of stress that comes with a relationship too that's not felt if you're not in a relationship. So, you could make the argument if sex.
If it weren't for sex, for me, I know I'm different than a lot of people with my autism, I suppose, and all this blah, blah, blah. But if it weren't for getting laid, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be fine with being by myself.
Yeah. Women exaggerate.
You've never
problems.
been with anybody though.
That's true though. I don't even know what the fuck is. You're right. I just know.
That's all you know, dude. It's like a blind
well
person. No, I'm fine being blind.
You're right. I'm just. all I've ever been is a lonely asshole. So I guess it's. You're right. That's my normal. So.
Women exaggerate problems they have at work.
5.
I did not go 5 on that, but I was on the agreeing side of that.
Once a woman gets a man to commit to her, she usually tries to put him on a tight leash.
It's this usually thing that throws you.
Yeah,
I mean, I was on the agreeing side, but.
I don't know. I've never felt like I was on a leash with.
I think most people would say that though.
I've never had a girl, and maybe it's just because of me, where they're like, I don't have to worry about him. He's not going to do anything. I've never felt like I was on a leash. Like Beth has never been like, where are you going tonight? Why are you meeting those guys? Never.
But isn't that the biggest beef of any guy? Isn't that the stereotypical, oh, dude, you're married now, no, you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's just.
Well, I think
I think a lot of people feel that.
But I know, the thing is, I think again, Mike, I think you have a different attitude than a lot of. I know I haven't, but I have friends that are in relationships all the time, and that certainly is a thing that I don't think they're just saying it. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't think they're just playing into the joke.
When women lose to men in fair competition, they typically complain about being discriminated against.
Typically? No,
I don't
on the
find
disagreeing side.
Yeah, I disagree with that too. A good woman should be set on a pedestal by her man.
She's a good woman.
Yeah, I think. What's wrong with that? I guess that makes us sexist assholes too to put
exactly.
put a woman on a pedestal. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I would hope that she would put you on a pedestal.
Right.
There are actually very few women who get a kick out of teasing men by seeming sexually available and then refusing male advances.
That was my one strongly disagree.
You strongly disagree?
There are very few women who do that. I think a lot of women are teases.
Well, teases, but then. Yeah.
I'm strong.
Right.
I was in the same place where Jay was on that.
Women compared to men tend to have a superior moral sensibility.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's shifting though, man.
Mhm.
It's
I was gonna
becoming more and
say.
more accepted that women can be just like, suck my dick
Yeah.
out in public. Way more than they ever were.
Sluts.
Um,
I mean, not
yeah.
to throw that word, not necessarily to throw that word around, but I think having sex with multiple guys or kind of, being in and out or being in open relationships is not as big of a deal. Not a guy thing anymore.
I wonder where Hero J is going to come in on this one.
Oh, geez.
Men should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being in order to provide financially for the women in their lives.
It's on the agreeing side of that.
5?
Who isn't on the agreeing side of that?
I think I'd like to know what I exactly answered. I was on the agreeing side, but I was not on 5.
Feminists are making entirely reasonable demands of men.
What number
Disagree.
was that one?
I was on the disagreeing side of that.
Feminists are making entirely reasonable.
Oh, you know what? I was on 4 with the financially for the. So I didn't do that. You can go back and look.
Lastly, women as compared to men tend to have a more refined sense of culture and good taste. I
was on the
agree
agreeing side.
strongly with that. That
Dude, you go to Italian film festivals with your girlfriend.
Yes, I would never step foot in an Italian film festival.
You have an
in my life.
extraordinary girlfriend in that regard, though.
Yes,
Look
She's
at that.
way more cultured than you.
but I think most girls.
Have you
that
seen her
I've dated,
bathroom,
I
Mike?
know, right.
There's nothing
It's
wrong
like-
with her bathroom.
It's like something off of Pinterest.
Not off of Pinterest. She designed it herself.
Off of Pinterest.
I don't think she's been on Pinterest.
She's never been inspired by
She's
Pinterest.
an artist.
Mm.
She was an art major.
I've seen that bathroom
It's beautiful, isn't it?
on Pinterest.
So how did we do?
I was the worst. I'm most sexist.
Oh,
But this is what's interesting to me.
such
I
bullshit,
know.
dude.
I
Such a
am. I'm
bad
the most
spin.
sexist. I apologize.
Oh, shut the, in this realm.
Again,
in this
I love
realm-
women. I think they're beautiful.
You're the most benevolent sexist,
Right.
which again,
Here's what's
a
interesting.
knight
though,
in
gentlemen.
shining armor.
I was the most
Jay is
hostile
defined
sexist.
as the most knight in shining armor.
It's a bad thing, guys. I printed this out, which shows how how my scores compare to men and female views in different countries. And it's interesting to look through. Like Botswana, I'm right there with the benevolence, but the Botswanese tend to think like I do. But the one I'm most like, dude,
Oh, no.
Syria.
Oh, boy.
I'm basically a Syrian man. Look at that.
No way.
I'm a friggin' Syrian man.
Wow.
I'm
There's
right.
n-
That's me.
Dude, how do I score higher in the hostile sexism towards women than a Syrian man?
I don't know, Mike.
They're not answering honestly.
You want to know what Syrian men are thinking? Just ask me.
I think of Syrian men, no offense to our Syrian listeners, it's like, you, room, pants off.
Yeah.
Like,
I would give you 2 goats for her.
yes, trading women for cheese.
Yeah.
Whatever. Happens.
That would be foolish to trade a woman for cheese. Trade it for the goat. You can make all the cheese you want.
It's a
Good point. The teach a man to fish situation.
Ah,
You are you are absolutely you could take a ruler to this.
I know.
Jay's a Syrian man. That's awesome.
Isn't that wild? I'm not even
Yes.
close to any other country. It's like bar graph, you know. All right.
That's
that was
hilarious.
enlightening.
Very much so.
I'm more sexist than Mike Walters. Hostily sexist. Than Mike
Yeah.
Walters.
What was your benevolent sexism score?
2.18.
Yeah, very low.
What was yours? 4 or something?
3.9 or something.
Oof. Ooh.
Hey, this segment is brought to you by Mayor and Company Accountants. If you dread Greenfield Village on football Sundays as much as you dread bookkeeping and accounting for your business, let Kyle Mayer handle it all for you. Kyle's a pro who you can trust, so spend more time on your core business and leave those awful, annoying accounting and bookkeeping tasks to Kyle. Call him today at 248-521-0016. Tell him the Detroit Cast sent you, and you will get 10% off.
You know, we've done a couple of these stories, Jay, of people on airplanes. Remember the guy that like lathered up that chick with
Lotion.
Yeah, I think she took like a Xanax or something and then crashed for the flight.
Wakes up with a sore vagine.
Which I don't know that I
Her
believe.
labia is swollen.
Yeah, and she was just covered.
Mons pubis is just drenched.
Her panties were ripped to one side.
That's
I mean,
right.
this guy just kind of went to town on her. It was like monster, throw him in jail. And he was trying to play the she dug it card, You know, she didn't say anything, so she must have dug it.
Didn't he also play the I thought it was my wife for a second.
He was having a hallucination.
Yeah. He
did.
tried several cards.
And he also tried, if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, he tried It Happened to Me as a Child, and I liked it too, or something like that card.
Yep.
Which is an interesting play.
3 interesting plays.
I thought, honestly, his best chance was I was hallucinating. I thought it was my wife.
Yeah.
If he'd said that right at the beginning, and that was his only.
And stuck to that. So you got to stick to that story. But we've got a female who's acted up on a plane now, and I'm less inclined to want her, deleted from the planet.
Yeah, let me see if she's guilty or not.
Yeah, I'll show you, and I'll let you make the judgment yourself here in a second. She's an Oregon woman. She was charged with molesting a female passenger.
Well,
how hot is this story getting?
I think I've seen this before in a movie.
Right. on your phone.
Yeah.
with your dick in your hand.
Crazy situation.
She was on a flight from Vegas to Portland. Heidi McKinney, 26 years old, touched the woman's breast and genitals without consent.
Oh my
she
God.
Went vagina and titties without consent during this flight on Alaska Airlines on Sunday. The alleged unwanted contact happened while the plane was in Oregon airspace. Police spoke with the other woman, and the flight landed, and they arrested this girl.
Wow. Not guilty.
That's what I was thinking. I was inclined to say not guilty.
How can there be such a misunderstanding?
Such a male
crime. Dude. How
I
does a chick just go to town on another chick without there's something being there? Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Do you feel like there's more to this story?
Something. Yeah, that girl is a good-looking chick.
Especially for this crime. I mean,
yeah. Wow.
Lesboing out on a plane. Oh,
what was she doing?
I want to see the victim. The
I know.
victim must have been a 10.
Yeah. If
You know
you're
what I
like,
mean?
oh, gross, get off me, chick.
Oh, imagine waking up and you're being fingered by some chick. Wow.
As a guy or as a female? Because
Well,
the guy would be awesome.
As a guy, that would be rough. That would be tough. Look up at some chick's fingering your butt.
Contrary to all of our fantasies, not every chick wants to be fingered by a chick.
Right.
I think I can say that with certainty.
Right? You think most wouldn't?
A large part of the population wouldn't be that bent out of
Wouldn't
shape.
want to, yeah. It's prom season.
Yeah.
We've talked about
as
the prom
as we learned. I thought it was way early, but I guess not. We're hearing more and more prom stories.
Yeah. Well, yeah, what is it? May 10th or something now? Yeah, I would think that'd be like 1st of June, start of June, and then
Not
by
really,
by
because-
mid-June you're done with school.
No, because high school seniors get out. They're probably out
Hmm.
in a few, maybe 3 weeks by now, I bet.
Okay.
This dude here is catching some shit.
Oh, that dude is, huh?
Yes, this dude here. Well, actually, it's not a dude. It's a It's a dudette. Female Pennsylvania high school student said that she was banned from attending her prom because she wore a suit rather than a dress.
What's up with that?
Why you would ban her? You mean?
Yeah.
Who
I
cares,
don't
honestly?
know who does give a shit, but apparently this school did. Ania Wolf said she's a lesbian. Get out of, are you sure? you say that
Like
you're a
flaming
lesbian,
heterosexual,
but
Let me see.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm inclined to believe her.
She got like Richie Rich hair going on. What is
Sort
that?
of. Yep. Yeah, it screams lesbian. She said, I've worn a shirt and pants for all 3 years. She attends Bishop McDevitt High School. So that's a Catholic school.
Okay.
Sort of, it sounds like. I've always been like this. I was always more masculine. You wouldn't catch me playing with any Barbie dolls. I'll tell you that right now. Sexist. She and her mother have said the family got a last-minute email saying girls had to wear dresses to attend Friday's prom. She didn't think the dress code barred her daughter from wearing a suit, and the last-minute message was unfair because they'd already bought a new suit. So she went anyways, and they fucking grabbed this chick by the ass and the collar and said, "Get out of here!"
Patty caked him.
Yeah, absolutely, patty caked.
Seriously, like
Her.
that. Don't you think that's kind of weird to get an email and be like, all girls must wear dresses?
They must have been targeting this girl here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously they would know she's the one. I just don't know why anyone gives it. What do you care?
I don't know. And don't they know they're just picking a shit fight? How are you going
That's
to
the
win
other-
in
how
this
do you not-
climate?
Yeah.
How can you not know right now that you would have a problem with this?
I would think even 10 years ago, you wouldn't want to pick this fight.
Yeah.
Like some chick wants to dress up in a tux. I mean, I guess I could more see if a guy wanted to wear a dress, that being more of a firestorm for a community.
Yeah.
I could see that being more of a problem, but a chick wants to wear a tux.
Right.
Whatever. Who cares?
It just seems like, what if there was just some eccentrically styled chick who wants to wear pants, under her dress or something? Like, are they going to enforce that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's clearly a lesbian issue.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, there's her date. It's a little thick in the carriage. Whatever.
Well, can make it work.
The good news is in this story is since she was just absolutely grabbed by the back of the pants and neck and tossed out of that fucking prom, I would assume they got to the hotel really quick and just got to scissoring.
Yeah.
I mean, they just were going at it all night, don't you think?
Just rubbing vagines, yeah.
Yeah, just mashing. Just a mess of mashed vagines.
God, that seems so stupid in this climate. Why, man?
Yeah.
How dumb can you be?
I know. Just begging for a fight. And then the story that broke yesterday, that's, oh man, that's sad. This 17-year-old girl from Pennsylvania. Was that last one in Pennsylvania too?
I think it was.
Wow, what's going on in Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
I got a problem here. Everybody's got a problem with Pennsylvania. This 17-year-old girl went to her prom and posted pictures on the net.
Oh no, Mike. Oh,
and
no.
then went to bed after being very proud of myself at the prom.
Oh no.
And then was just hammered by bullies because she's kind of huge. There's nothing kind of about it. She's huge. Her name's Taia Jones. She got all dolled up to go to her junior prom, danced the night away, and then shared a picture of herself in the prom dress. Ooh, they attacked her dress. They attacked her look. I felt good and I was happy. She took pictures with friends, updated her Instagram. The next morning, she found out that she had gone viral online.
Oh no,
this is brutal.
What are people? What assholes? Like, who cares?
I know. It was just really hurtful because I was so confident the day before, and it just changed my view of myself. The comments made Taija feel depressed. Her mom revealed the teenager didn't want to go to school or even leave the house. I was made fun of because I thought I looked pretty and people bullied me. I guess I wasn't meant to do things and go places like other people.
Oh no. See the photos.
Let me see.
Well, right? Here's the thing. You can't see you didn't see it coming. A little bit, just a little bit, right? I'm not saying it's right.
For her to be blindsided like she was. I mean,
yeah.
Right? The weight gain didn't happen overnight. This couldn't be the first time it's been commented on.
He's seeing her for the first time.
I think the profile is damning. No. The profile is damning. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So sorry to this chick. Look at her face. Is it like
I know.
So flat?
Dude, if Kadog was here, I think he would bring up the profile of a wild boar. And I think you would see some real similarities.
Face,
honestly, it
just goes like a paper.
Isn't it boorish?
Like her head, her back head, and her face is like a piece of paper.
Just put a ruler to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't you think, Mike?
Yeah, no, I
You've
definitely
seen that profile before.
Could I? What?
Yeah.
When did she feel beautiful?
What?
When was it that she looked at those pictures? And
do you think she's overstating that? Like, do you think she's really been bullied a lot, and then she's just trying to make this like, oh my god, into this big story?
I don't know.
Wow, I felt pretty, and now look at this, and
well, that's
put me on Good Morning America kind of thing. Put me on Ellen.
I don't know. We've all seen the You Are Not the Father shows.
Yeah.
And some fucking 500-pound wildebeest comes out there. You just jealous. And they're grabbing their crotch.
Yeah,
right.
they do have
and
a confidence. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah. Most people pack on 10 pounds and it's like, oh, I don't even want to leave the house. I'm so gross. But there's these beasts out there that are just like, fuck you. I'm hot as shit.
So you're saying it is possible that overnight, hot as shit.
Maybe. I don't know why she wouldn't just go with you're just jealous, like on the email. If that's the case, then just go with the you're just jealous hashtag. Hate is gonna hate type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess anything's possible. It's hard to look at that and at her. No offense to her. She should be going anywhere she wants. And if she feels pretty,
And these
that's all
assholes
that matters.
don't get me wrong, dude. Honestly, these
It's
assholes
bullshit. It's
that are
bullshit.
commenting on your Instagram or Facebook, what fucking loads that you're gonna sit at your house and be, what
Go
a
out of your way to
tubby.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like the
look
300
at-
people that do it to my Facebook every day.
I'd like to see
You mean
these
those people?
people. Always your example. Back
Glad
to
it
your
doesn't
example.
affect your outlook, Mike.
Well, I have turned into a hermit though, so
Yeah, but to be fair, I feel
Just
like
jealous.
you just
you're just jealous.
you just jealous.
You're just
You
jealous.
just jealous. You know you want a piece of this. Come on, Jay. You just jealous.
Telling
You
ladies
just-
that going to the bar, just be, you wish you wanted this.
Come out, motherfucking all you guys. You just jealous.
I got a girlfriend back at home. Fuck you. No, but it's a fat man in the sweatpants that was emailing you. These people. I'd like to put the. I wish on these social network things you could freaking put the kind of how Schilling did to the one guys that were ripping his daughter or something, where he started looking for who they were.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And found out of things about
Kurt
them. I'd like
Schilling.
to go to the statuses and see, where there's life statuses. Do they have DUIs? Are they fat? Are they a nerd?
Well, just simply their appearance. A lot of times, like,
Right.
would they come up to you and say that to you to your face?
No, not
Well,
in a
as
million
Mike
years.
says, for his
And
story,
honestly, I've never once gone on someone's page or on someone's on a stranger, let alone
right.
someone from our audience. I've never in my life gone on someone's page and gone like, ugh, gross, fatso. Like never.
Why? Can you imagine?
Never. I've never even thought about it.
Can't contemplate
And I
it.
understand it's different for me on this show, obviously with an audience and it gets joked. I get it. I'm not saying that. But on a random person that you don't know and doing something like that, like, dude, I don't get that at all.
What are you getting out of it? And
Yeah. Well, you alluded to it a second
Yeah.
ago that the guy in the sweatpants that showed up who was constantly emailing and ragging on Mark and I. We were doing a McDonald's commercials for a while. And he would email every day talking about what fat assholes we were and the McGriddle twin, like whatever he would say. He
The
would just
McGriddle twins.
something. McGriddles probably didn't
you
exist
weren't even
then.
fat
but-
then.
No, I wasn't fat then.
This is before
Yeah.
you were fat.
Before I was before
What an asshole remark.
um
Sorry, dude. That for real. I'm sorry about that.
and so but then we'd go to a remote and this fucking grape, this fucking wildebeest comes waddling in and he's like, and he's in sweatpants because that's all he can wear is sweatpants
Sure.
and a sweatshirt, and he just comes sauntering in. They look filthy, and he's just like, "Hi, I'm so and so. I emailed the show a lot, a huge fan." And you're like, "Oh, great." And then he spits his email out. I'm like, "Oh my god, that's the fucking guy.
How much?
This is the guy that's ragging."
Yeah.
He looks like two Mark Fellhauers and me.
How
come
much
by.
did
It
you
was
want to say
huge.
something? Like if you know when you can't, obviously, but man, would it,
Two
Yeah.
free fat yous or two fat yous?
Two fat me's.
Wow.
Two fat Fellhauers and a fat me. Or actually, one Mark Fellhauer and two fat
Oh,
me's.
okay. Wow.
He was big. He was a big boy. But it was just like, dude, I want to know, like, do you get to the point where you're writing that first email? Where it's
It's
like,
making him feel better about himself. That's it.
I've never had
But it
one person
shouldn't.
come up to me. I don't get recognized that often, but even from the Drew and Mike days to this, I've never had one person come up and to my face say they hated me. Not
Yeah.
saying they don't see me and be like that. Maybe some people are like, "Hey, that's that E from whatever. Fuck him. I hate him on the show."
Yeah.
But they don't come up and say it.
no, they never will either.
Right? Crazy.
Well, they will now. Just out of
I don't care if you do. By the way, I encourage people to come up if they don't
Yeah.
like me and say that. It's fine with me. Take both. I'll take equal opportunity witnesses or notices.
There were a lot of people that came to this girl's defense afterwards.
I can
like,
imagine.
As there should
you know,
be.
doing the hashtag. Oh my God, you're hot. You're beautiful.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
which
fine. I mean, it should be
Start
hashtag no.
lying to her.
Right. It should be like hashtag no bullying. I don't know about hashtag you're hot.
well, they're inflating her, which is probably not a good thing.
Two
either.
wrongs
They're,
don't make a right.
they're inflating her ego.
Can't inflate her anymore, could you?
Well,
Two
yeah,
wrongs don't make a right. Yeah,
So-
lying's never okay just
Yeah.
because it's hurt feelings.
she's trying to look on the bright side. She's encouraged by all these people that are lying to her now. She's even started posting on Instagram again. She took her Instagram down at one point. I mean, she was getting such abuse.
Man.
So she's got a compilation video from the night
Oh, no.
with pictures and cell phone clips of her dancing
What
and
is
having a
she
great time. Gonna keep my head up in these hard times, she says.
It's going to be a heavy head. Keep
that's
up.
Sore neck.
Yeah,
It's an issue. It looks like one of the clumps. She looks like one of the
I
clumps.
know it's so bad.
It has the Honey Boo Boo Mom. It's reminiscent of that to me. The big,
yeah.
the big neck.
Yeah.
What's her name again? Miss June or
Let me
something?
see her.
Yeah.
By the way,
It reminds me of an Eddie Murphy character that's done the clumps.
It's
where
that crazy heavy neck. It looks
Yeah.
fake, man.
Yeah.
and the face from the profile, Jay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if Kadag was here, he'd bring up a wild boar and you guys would be amazed at the
Yeah.
similarity.
It's tough.
God bless her.
As I think you have all seen on YouTube, I basically suck at my job. However, my friends at Zotford, for some reason, mysteriously continue to keep me around there. I don't think some of them wish I was. I think some of them wish I wasn't there anymore. So please do us a favor and head down to I-75 and exit 98 and take advantage of this stupidly great lease right now. And only if you tell them Big E sent you. Until the end of May, you can lease a brand new 16 Ford Edge for just $272 with zero cash due. Yep, a new Edge for just $272 with zero cash due. Check out their retarded deals and massive inventory at Zotford.com. And yes, you can see another video of me sucking at my job on the YouTube channel, by the way.
Yeah, there's a new one you posted yesterday.
I am not a good porter. It's the lowest
Me
job.
picking up a new truck and basically having, E brings me the truck.
Yeah.
It's the lowest
ridiculous.
job on the totem pole. No offense
To our Indian
to our
listeners.
Indians or Indian listeners, but
Um,
I suck at it.
there's a guy here, and I'm kind of on the fence. I kind of give this guy credit for the balls that it takes to pull this. He's one of these guys that's kind of a deadbeat piece of shit, but it's just like, fuck it, I'm going big. I'm a millionaire and I'm gonna impress this chick. And he just went for it. And so this guy, Greg Harris, he was charged with theft and burglary after authorities say he stole a BMW SUV and moved into a home that he didn't own. Oof. All to impress some piece of ass. He in early April, he made an offer on a home being sold by New York-based Castle Rock REO. And because his girlfriend saw a listing online and was like, I'm interested in it. And so he's like, yeah, I want to keep hitting that. So I'm going to put an offer in. He puts an offer in. They're like, yeah, dude, you're fucking way low. Like, we've got 10 other people here that have already like way outbid you on this shit. And he's like, okay. So all of a sudden he just fucking moves in. He's like, he just moves into their property, took it upon himself to move into the house, remove the for sale sign out front, change the locks. And despite being told there were higher bidders, all of that he does. By April 10th, multiple realtors noticed the for sale sign had been removed while attempting to show the property to actual buyers, prospective buyers. When Castle Rock REO was informed, neighbors told them the house was full of new furniture. Harris had also allegedly turned on internet service, water, electricity, all billed in his name in the home.
That son of a bitch. How long did he think this would last?
I don't know. When the company told Harris the sale had gone awry, he said he believed he owned the home because of his bid. He then allegedly sent falsified documents, including a house deed, sale agreement, and proof of insurance to Castle Rock REO.
A lot of work going into this, man.
Yeah.
Dude, look what's on the line, though. This beautiful new home is on the line.
But like, doesn't he have a job? Like, he has to leave this home, and like now your whole life is focused around like wouldn't you be thinking about it all day? Like when you're at work, you got to get home because you got to protect it. Like,
It's bizarre.
The real estate company obviously involved the authorities, and they went over there and found him and his girlfriend living in the house. And Harris's girlfriend told authorities that the two had been dating since just January. Oh my God, I was under the impression he was like a millionaire. He drives the BMW, and they're like, "Oh, he does he?" And they go out there and find out it's a stolen. It's a stolen BMW. Oh, the vehicle contained a laptop and a book. Guess what book was in his car?
The Art of the Deal. I don't know.
He's a black dude. Seems like kind of a white guy crime, doesn't it? Stealing a house.
Yeah.
Trump Nation, The Art of Being the Donald.
Dude, I was onto it.
Yes. That was the book in there.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
And then before we get to email, there's this Mexican dude. He's in some trouble, Jay. He's from Juarez, Mexico. He's been sentenced to 8 years in prison.
Juarez, that's where El Chapo got moved the other day.
Yeah, is that in the Chihuahua state?
I believe it is.
Yeah. Anyway, he shot his friend dead.
Okay, this happens.
8 years.
Nothing remarkable about that.
Then
Then
yeah, here's where we get in trouble. And this is why it's 8 years. I mean, in Mexico, what do they give you, a week if you kill someone?
Probably.
But 8 years if you cut off his penis and feed it to your dog.
You know,
Mario Alberto Lizalde Reyes was walking with his childhood friend Mario Hernandez Banda. After the two had been drinking, they began to argue. He claimed Banda tried to touch me in sexual way.
It's sexual way.
So they're arguing, and this argument turns into the guy trying to grab him in a sexual way.
Took it as sexual tension rather than an argument.
Yeah.
And then Reyes then pulled out a revolver and shot his friend in the head. In his confession, he wrote, after pushing him off, he went to urinate in an alley, so I followed him, pulled out my gun and shot him in the head. I then took out his knife that he had on him and chopped off his penis as punishment and put it in a bag.
What?
A lot of work going into this.
Reyes noticed his dog was sniffing around the bag.
You hungry, boy?
He's starving, mi amigo. Here you go. And he gave the dog the severed panuzel meat. The dog ate it, and Reyes finished walking his pet before he goes home, leaving Banda's body slumped in an alleyway. Following day, his conscience got the better of him. He turned himself into police. He came in covered in cuts and bruises. He said he fought with his stepfather when he told him what he'd done. He then admitted, yes, I killed my best friend. Friday, a judge sentenced him to 8 years in prison for the killing.
It's actually surprising.
Not even that bad. 8 years.
It's surprising more of these homicidal maniacs don't do this more. Desecrating the dick, the noose.
Yeah.
The noose will meet. It's the ultimate. Disrespect.
Yeah. Shoving it in a guy's ass or in his own
throat.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Not to give ISIS any ideas, but we did discuss that.
Yeah. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. 8 years. Why only 8 years?
I know that's not that. Even for what it.
What's the matter?
Flat out pulled a gun out and shot. It wasn't even like it was like, oh, I didn't know it was loaded. Oh, we were joking around.
Is that a go-to defense? Like, well, he was coming on to me sexually.
It's gross.
Maybe in Mexico, it's like, oh, gays. Like,
yeah,
gross.
Right. Does that like give him some kind of sympathy? Like, well, his friend was coming on to him.
Yeah.
Gross, as you said.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Softens it a little bit. Well, I can see why you do this.
Yeah, maybe. If he really was coming on to him, gross. What is wrong with people nowadays that you just like, if we're walking on the street, Jay, honestly, and you're like, just grab my dick, I might go, get out of there.
No,
Jesus,
no.
dude.
is what I would say.
Get your hand out of there, man.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say,
But I can't imagine, like,
what happened to that tact?
Yeah, like we're walking on the street, you grab my junk, and I'm just like, oh, really?
Oh.
Where's my gun? Like, I need to put you down like a dog. You need to be put down over that move.
You're being maybe a little facetious or the story about the defense, but there are guys like that out there. And I got to be honest, as much as I'm equally,
it makes you wonder, doesn't it? They're so anti-homo. It's like,
if you see that guy that's just like
that put off by somebody who would dare to grab your dick and you go ape shit on him like that.
Right. They're at work, just absolutely just like hammering homos, just like fucking the worst thing in the world. I'm always like, maybe you're a little gay.
Something there.
Yeah. The whole gay bashing thing, I don't get. I don't get it at all.
Beat up a gay guy. It's weird.
Yeah.
What about the dog, though, in this situation? Are you concerned about the dog eating a panous?
Well,
he doesn't.
I know dogs will eat their own shit, but would that give you
like
pause
a dick
at all?
move to do to the dog?
Sort of. No pun intended, Mike.
No pun intended. Yeah, it is kind of a dick move. The dog doesn't know. He doesn't
deserve that, though.
Yeah,
he definitely doesn't deserve it. But I'm sure it's just whatever. It's just.
Well, we've been.
Would you feed the poos a dick?
Whose dick?
I was gonna say eat
no,
dick.
No, absolutely not.
Diseased and nasty.
A
clean dick.
Well, we know that dogs they can't help it. You smear peanut butter on it, they'll go to town and clean it off.
You know this for a fact?
Well, I mean, that's urban legend at least, right? It's been discussed many times.
I don't have a dog. I don't know.
Yeah, for the record, I've never done that. I don't think you have a dog, or maybe you would have done that at some point.
The peanut butter thing?
Yeah.
No, I've never. We've never had a dog in the house. And just to answer the question, no, I've never put peanut butter on my balls.
How much would it take to put peanut butter on your balls and let?
I would feel so bad for the dog. Like I wouldn't as much care about the.
You wouldn't feel bad for the dog.
I know I wouldn't do it. I'm saying what I was about to say. I wouldn't feel any bad for the stigma of like. Yeah, I would though. I actually would feel bad for the dog. I think.
If you wouldn't feel bad for the stigma, you would not do it because you'd feel bad for the dog.
Yeah, I don't really care that people would. I don't really care that people would be like, "Oh, you got an animal, lick your balls."
Yeah, you're engaging in bestiality. That wouldn't cross your mind.
That's not as much as I'd feel bad for the dog.
I think it gets into bestiality when you're talking about insertion into a dog. If you're talking I don't consider it bestiality when Beth and I were just getting it on and Izzy came up behind it. And all of a sudden, wet nose on ball bag. Like that happens, and
dogs like peanut butter.
I don't consider that.
That was unintentional.
Yeah,
but you're smearing peanut butter and telling them to go to town. I don't know, man.
But dogs like
I
peanut
put that
butter.
in the realm
It's
of
not like
bestiality. Sue me.
Well, whatever. Either way, I haven't done it. I guess I don't know the answer. I don't know whether I think it's bestiality or not. I suppose it's not.
All right, let's say it's not bestiality. Would you do it for $100?
Again, I kind of feel bad because the dog.
Dogs love peanut butter. What does the dog care?
Yeah, dog doesn't give a shit.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer the question.
Dog will eat poop. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
Eat grass.
I know. I'd feel too weird. I think even for me, I'd feel too weird about it.
Would you
maybe
be
for like
worried
$1 million?
to get turned on for $1 million?
Oh,
Yeah, you do anything for $1 million.
Well, no, but that's my point. I'm making that outrageous number, saying that if it was like some crazy number.
But I think if Jay pulled out $300, you'd do it too.
Not
if the cash was in front of you.
Hell yes.
No,
yes, you
no,
would.
dude.
You would. You've lit your balls on fire. Of course you'd let a dog
for free.
lick peanut butter off.
Yeah, but that was a different time. I'm a more mature individual.
Yeah, you are.
How we doing?
Some email.
Go ahead.
We have some email, but first we have to mention our buddy Mark Leibovitz of LPL Financial. Your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today. Tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Ryan writes in, new listener, subject line. Hey guys, wanted to take a moment out of my crazy ass life to thank you for your show. Well, you're welcome, Ryan. I was a longtime Drew and Mike listener. After the show ended, I forced myself to try and become accustomed to Dave and Chuck the Freak. One of my employees told me to give your show a try about 6 weeks ago. After listening to your show one time, I realized that Dave and Chuck had actually lowered my IQ level. What a shit show. I haven't listened to them once since, and I haven't missed one of your shows.
Cool.
The guy who referred me to your show said that I may not like Big E. He's right. I don't like him. I love that dude.
Oh, what a turnaround. What a turnaround.
Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming.
He may not be the sharpest pencil in the stack, but he puts himself out there, and I respect that about him.
He does do that.
Quick question for you. How the hell do you guys get paid? I know you have some advertisers, but does that pay all of your salaries? I know it's none of my business, but I wonder that every time I listen. By the way, I've been using the Detroit Cast page to log to my Amazon when I buy shit. This show is going to make it big. Trust me, as Joe Dirt would say, keep on keeping on, Ryan.
Thanks,
Thank
Ryan.
you for using the Amazon link. That's appreciated.
Amazon.
It's an incredible company.
There has never been a company quite like Amazon.
Don't worry, they don't have everything
Oh,
I'm going to need.
They have so much.
There is very little Amazon doesn't have.
Amazon.
Please use our Amazon link like Ryan's doing at DetroitCast.com. You'll find a link there too.
As
Just
for getting
simply-
paid, it's things like the Amazon link that help.
Yeah.
Donations, Amazon link, some advertising. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
Buy our merchandise.
Yeah, buy merchandise.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Noms, if that's your real name, writes in concerning ice cream, barbecue, Jerry, and retards. Oh, it's quite a mix of things, but he writes in nevertheless concerning these. Gentlemen and Big E, I must express my extreme disappointment with whomever it is that operates the drop board. I'm looking at you, Jay. I hearken back to episode 576 and your story about the retard that started up an ice cream / snow cone business. It's definitely a snow cone business. There was no ice cream involved.
Yeah.
During the story, it was also mentioned that at some point the retard started a fire at a barbecue shop, resulting in the ultimate demise of said business.
I see where this is going.
Here's where my disappointment comes in. All of this talk about ice cream and barbecue.
Oh, I know. It's exactly where it's going.
And not one single ice cream barbecue shop Jerry drop was played.
You know, there are people who don't want to do other things. You know, if you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
Really? I never again will there be a better opportunity for that drop to literally fit in with the story. Balls have not been dropped this hard since the last time Big E visited the Jackoff Club. Good day to you, sir. I said good day.
I am a firm believer that when you find a new pile of drops, you can play them constantly.
That's really astounding.
For a couple, like,
completely disagree with you.
I would find ways. I know, and that's the problem. I think you're too harsh with email standards, and I think you're too harsh with drop standards.
That's all right.
I think I would find so many
Did
fucking
you mention
ways.
email?
Yes.
That's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
I would find so many. It would get to the point
It
where
gets old, Mike.
it gets old to
It's
you.
always the same and always different. There's always a bunch of naked guys having a wonderful time.
I do
together.
have a lack of patience for a lot of things.
You do.
Yeah. I'm not the best person to be on this drop machine.
It's your smugness. You've ruled out.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say,
You've ruled out that drop machine with all the legendary Arnold drops. Like all those are just gone. Those are done now. Those don't exist because Jay's just declared them out.
I played one the other day.
Barely.
I'm just
And
not
under protest,
I'm
too.
just not a big fan of drops. I mean, if you're talking about the classic,
What do
I could do that all day long.
What do?
You like what
What
do? There. Go through the
I like
list
this
of
one.
other.
Probably not.
Of course, you like that one. Go through the list of what other drops are on there that you're not.
I like this one. I like this one. Okay, that's one I like. I like this one.
You're not a helper.
And I love Hazel.
I screamed, but nobody heard me.
What kind of car was it?
It's a 2001 Neon.
These could be injected in so many stories.
Dude,
you stink. You are the worst at driving.
Okay, then
this car.
you do that then.
Why are you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the guilty one for uttering those terrible, ugly words that I don't mean.
Oh, go ahead.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
Not so easy, is it, Mike? Not so easy, huh?
Wow, winning.
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 Yeah, the Tigers off to a bumpy start this season. Lost their 7th game in a row.
Winning.
Or lost.
Wow, winning.
Losing.
Yeah, wouldn't you say the opposite?
Not so easy. Mike's having trouble.
Blacks!
There's other pages too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say,
I play them enough.
He needs to be better trained.
I play them enough, in my opinion.
I don't think you play them quite enough, to be honest with you. There are probably Jerry drops you haven't even touched.
No, I've touched them all. You've got 2 more up there. One of my favorites that you haven't produced yet. Love that. You want more Jerry drops? Give me more Jerry drops.
Yeah, but that's more of an ID than it is.
Well, that's all right.
I love the
That's
fucking.
not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
That's awesome.
Love that guy. Francis writes in. I recently went to my usual Coney Island for breakfast, and I was wearing my Harpo's concert theater T-shirt.
Nice.
As I was walking in, some fellow was pushing an old lady in a wheelchair when he stopped to address my attire and share his most prominent memory of said establishment. The guy goes, "Wow, is Harpo still around?" I said, "Yup, I saw the thrash metal band Testament there in April of 2015. The dude goes, "I haven't been there in 30 years. Francis says, "Well, not much has changed. It looks exactly the same." The dude goes, "Last time I was there, some guy was blowing up the bathroom." Francis goes, "I've heard that happens. Is it possible that this gentleman was at the same 99-cent picture show as Mike Webster?"
Probably. Yeah, there was a big line. I can't remember who the concert was, but there's no doubt. There was a guy, a fat guy sitting there just sheepishly covering his dick and balls. And
no door on the stall.
No door on the stall and a
Packed
line out of it.
bathroom.
One of those where it was one of those nights where there's sweat coming down the walls in the bath. Like it was so hot.
Oh.
And the guy's butt cheeks are probably sliding around on the seat because it's so sweaty and gross.
Just blowing it out.
Just yeah, giving birth. It was not pretty. And the worst part is there's a line. It's one of those where there's a line for the bathroom. And so you're sitting there having to stand in line while this guy's just, having his way with his toilet. Yeah, look at that. There it is. The famous Kwame fart. Yeah, we'll take that and shit.
Is that 3 octaves? So impressive.
It's not bad.
God.
So anyway,
We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
All right, let's do that. Well, thanks. It's glad to have new listeners like Ryan. Hopefully more come on board. We certainly appreciate it. Continue to use all the Amazon links and all the stuff we just mentioned a minute ago. All that stuff, believe it or not, is really, really helpful as we try to keep this thing going. So with that, we'll call it a day. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God.